All right. All right, we're back. We're here with another podcast, and Wesley is here, and Howler is here, and I'm here as well.
Whole families together for
The whole
dinner.
family. Gotta do it for family.
Wesley's not eating lasagna.
He's eating La Saga.
I am eating a saga.
La Saga.
Where's Garfield?
Garfield. You mean Chris Pratt as Garfield?
Exactly.
Oh
I
man, bro.
got him.
So what have you guys been up to? How have things been in 3 weeks?
Life has been lifing.
Who wants to go first? Someone who fights, so fight each other.
All right, rock, paper, scissors, Wesley.
I lose, so I'm eating a saga.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. You're gonna have food in your mouth.
I watched. I'm just gonna start. So.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I watched Severance. I don't remember if I talked about this last time or
not. I want to say yes. You did say that Severance is good, and you didn't want to spoil it. But
I think I might have said that I started watching it, but I didn't. Fully get into it yet. I'm fully into that motherfucker now.
Are you in the newest season or?
Yes. I binged that shit in like a day.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have yet to watch it. I don't know whether or not I should get Apple TV. But yeah, I hear it's good. I mean, I kind of got spoiled on like the twist. But I'll probably be checking it out just to see how it progresses.
On the twist. I don't really consider anything a twist in there yet.
Oh, I didn't know what Severance was. I thought it was just people in like an office building and like maybe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
so
like
you didn't know. Okay.
I didn't know until like I went to work and like one of my coworkers was just like, I think I just offhanded mentioned to another my coworker, like, "Have you seen Severance yet?" And he's like, "What's that?" And then basically he kind of like gives the whole spiel. And I was like, "Oh, okay."
Even with knowing the thing, they tell you basically about it.
Mm-hmm.
The first episode you wouldn't know. You would be kind of blind. The second episode, they immediately explain everything.
Okay. All right.
So it's not like you're not losing anything from him explaining it to him. The only thing you're losing is the mystery of the beginning first episode, pretty much.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I will say, very, very, very good show.
Mm-hmm.
Adam Scott is so fucking good at everything he does. I love that guy.
Is it Adam Scott?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think you might be right. Yeah, he's good. I like him in other stuff.
I didn't know if I was gonna like the other guys that were in there. I don't know the lady's name. I don't know the one guy's name, but I don't know the other three people's names at all for sure. But the one dude I know from Adam Sandler's movie, it's his butler when he's rich. The one that's like very, very sneaky, sir.
Not John Turturro, is it?
He's got curly hair and shit.
Oh, then probably not. I mean, I saw John Turturro in like a trailer.
We have computers, and I could just use my Google. So
yeah, you probably should look at that. But I mean, I know John Turturro is in Severance, and
it's John Turturro. He was in one of Sandler's movies as a butler.
Yeah, I love John Turturro. He's a very good character actor.
So the people that play the characters are John Turturro, Zach Cherry, and Britt Lower, and then Adam Scott, obviously. All four of those people so good at what they do. Love it. I think once you watch it, we should talk more about it for sure.
Yeah, I'll probably give it a shot after I finish watching what I've been watching.
I watched the rest of Landman, which is just a TV show about oil, and kind of like it's got some drama to it for sure. I'm trying to remember the lead man. Billy Bob Thornton is the main character.
Okay.
And he just plays like a dude that like works for an oil company. He's like been in and out of like not in and out of it. He's been in it his whole life. So he knows like everything, and he just like takes care of like business, like super straight up and down type of shit. And 10 episodes so far, and then they haven't gotten renewed for season 2 yet, as far as I know. But they're working on a season 2, basically, like getting ready to gear up to do it.
Okay, that sounds interesting. I mean,
yeah, it's one of those shows I think a lot of people are not gonna like, but it's very kind of like garbage TV that people would watch back in the day and be like, oh, I'll just watch it because it's here, you know?
Okay. I was gonna say, did you ever watch the Fargo TV show?
No, we've talked about it though. I think the Fargo movie, but I never watched the show.
The first season is really good. Billy Bob Thornton is the bad guy.
Oh, nice.
He's really
I like
good.
Billy Bob Thornton a lot.
He's really good in it. Like, it's almost on par with oh god, Javier Bardem in No Country for Old Men. Like, people made the comparison with that of just how Billy Bob Thornton's acting in that show is. It's it's that like creepy of a character. It's good.
Yeah, he's a good actor, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's so. Like, the only big news I have is I bought a 7900 XTX. Yeah, super excited.
Oh my god.
It's my first big GPU I've ever gotten. So
yeah, I can't believe it. You're throwing out your Nvidia card.
I don't want to. I'm not gonna throw it out. I'm gonna make a second computer.
But I'm gonna throw it out. Is what you're telling.
I don't want to not have Nvidia, but for the price, it was the best thing I could do.
Mm-hmm.
Or I could have spent $3,000 on a 4080 at this point, because now they're just overpriced. All the prices are going up almost immediately after Nvidia announced their cards, and people found out how hard it was to get those cards. The 7900 XTX, no joke, I like went on to go buy it myself because I was like, I bet these are going to sell out. And as I went on to get them, gone immediately.
Wow.
Like, Amazon, every single version of it was gone. I went on to Newegg, gone. Like, everything,
Everywhere.
everything. Yeah. I got lucky and I was up in the middle of the night one night and I just checked Amazon and they restocked, and I was like, yep, grabbed it. It said it's going to take about a month for it to come, which means they probably are just taking pre-orders technically. So I'm like, it's cool. I can wait.
Yeah, the release of the 50 series is it's bad. It's as bad as I would say even the 3000, because like the 3000 was like that problem as well, where people basically scalpers were just buying it in bulk and then nobody had one for like a while.
Some people are having trouble with the melting cords again.
With the 5090?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, bro. Fucking that sucks.
Yeah. You're gonna want to wait for a third party that knows how to make something better.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that like I feel like with the launches of like certain cards, you kind of have to wait a good bit. Like I said, I got the TI, and the TI is a later iteration of the 30 series, but like even then, waiting for the later versions like does help a little bit in the end, because obviously
there's a Nvidia straight up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mine is RTX 3090.
No, yeah, I meant like it's not like MSI.
Oh, you mean the branding? Oh yeah, it is MSI.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Usually
when you get a like what I was reading about because I was trying to figure out which best RTX, the XTX to get.
Mm-hmm.
And everything I read said a lot of the XTX overheat. And more specifically, a directly built one from Radeon usually will overheat really a lot of the time. They said the third party ones are pretty okay, but like it gave like a list of ones to watch out for.
Yeah.
And at the top of the ones was what I wanted to go for, which is Sapphire. And specifically Sapphire's Nitro Plus, which is, if you look at it, it's huge compared to all the other ones because it has a fat fucking cooler attached to it. And even then they were like, sometimes people don't even get, like, sometimes this one overheats. And I was like, just like a lot of what everyone was saying was like, most of the time when you buy a Radeon card, you're gonna be opening it up and repasting it. And I was like, I don't trust myself to fucking do that. I'd have to get new thermal pads. There's so much to do. If I'm gonna open my card, I'm gonna water cool it.
I that's one of the things I've been seeing. I just like people trying to like reduce the temperatures for their GPUs, and like opening that shit up is like it's gotta be like just I don't know, just anxiety inducing, because that's the thing that costs a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
But hey man, like that's what I've been thinking as well about, like if I ever decide to do like a second build, because I always wanted to do like a mini like ITX build. I've always been thinking about getting like a an AMD card instead of a Nvidia card.
If you don't need like a super powerful card, I would totally go Radeon. And I would say the lower end cards are probably better off not overheating.
Yeah.
It's obvious. I believe it's when you get to the higher end ones or more
The
troublesome.
crazy ones, yeah. Because that's also the thing I wanted to mention is that like I didn't know that like, have you guys ever experienced anything like of coil wind with your GPUs or no?
No. I don't know about Wesley.
Using Lasago.
Y'all are speaking gibberish to me right now, so probably not.
Coil
Have you ever heard like you had your GPU ever made noises except for its fan?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Because my RTX card did that for like a little bit. Not to the extent of like where it's bad, because I've seen really bad coil wind, but like it's apparently it's a common thing that happens with like a lot of the bigger cards that like they have a tendency to do that. But it's like I said, it's not to the extent of like it's bad, but it's noticeable.
Yeah, Radeon is well known for their 7900 XT or TX, whichever one, and then the other one, the XTX. Both of those are known for having
coil wind.
Pretty bad coil wind. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Again, it usually varies depending on the brand you're getting. So, I think it just has to do with like heat dissipation.
That is true. Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm excited for that. I think that's gonna be cool.
All right, let us know how it goes when you install everything.
Oh, you'll get a picture immediately with 3 cores putting into that bitch, so you can see the 3 separate cores.
Send us your GPU pics.
Yeah,
I sent you my GPU pics.
I'm gonna send it to Sean. She's gonna be like, "Oh my god, it's so big."
Please respond.
Yeah. Honestly, man, I thought about getting a 3090. By the way, still good cards. Like that card is still fucking a beast.
Yeah, I mean, I use it for everything.
Yeah, it's just it is still expensive.
I got lucky. I got fucking lucky for like just for like $1,000, and this was at the time where like I think the 40 series was about to come out. So somebody was selling it for like 1,000, and I was just like, yoink, yoink, and yep. So far, it's been pretty good. Knock on wood, but we'll see.
Yeah. Right now, just the first card I see for the 3090 is $1,700.
Yeah, like it's crazy because even then when I was like, because I was eyeing the 3090 like everywhere, like Amazon, Newegg, just like Best Buy even as well, just to see like, all right, does anybody have an actual deal? Because I'm willing to pay 1,000, but I'm not willing to go above 1,000 to get a card that's about to get a newer, well, the next version is about to come out like in a couple months, and even then it's just like I don't need to buy the newer version, because even then the newer version is like fucking like $2,000 at the time. And I didn't.
It's interesting that people think like so the 20 series went up to 80 or 90, I can't remember, but it's like the 20 series goes from 2080 to 3080 to 4080 to 5080, and people hear like the difference of 2, 3, 4, 5, and they're like better, and it's actually just like linear. It's just the same.
Essentially, I know like when the 4090 was coming out, I know they were like trying to show the capabilities of what the 4090 could do, of like, oh, the 4070 is the equivalent of like the 3090 essentially. and the like all that stuff of like, look what it can do with the rendering and this and that, like the AI shit. But even then, you know, you do need VRAM is like the most important thing, and that was a lot of the, I guess, the talk at the time when the 40 series was coming out, that like a lot of these cards don't have a sufficient amount of VRAM. Like, you're getting gypped on the amount of VRAM that's coming out for these things. So it's like there's no point.
It's actually crazy, yeah.
Yeah. Because
again, that's why I think like the XTX was like a better decision again, because like I could buy a 4070 and it would be low VRAM.
Yeah, because like even then, the problem is that like it's crazy how dominant Nvidia is on this market, but it's true. That's the thing, is that like they're dominating like everything that applications on computers need Nvidia like graphics cards to run it, or like the Nvidia graphics cards run well on specific applications in order for you to like deal with overburdening your PC and shit like that. Because that's the thing with my my video editor. It has the ability to use my GPU, and like it works well with the Nvidia GPU, and it can do it. It can render videos no problem. But it's solely dependent on like the actual GPU I have, while AMD is still trying to get there. But the problem is that like, you know, nobody really buys AMD GPUs. So I don't know.
Yeah,
it's weird.
AMD is like, I would say it's a workload type thing. If you're doing like maybe video editing and stuff, you're probably, and you're not doing gameplay, you're probably going to be the person that's like, the VRAM's here, like hit a certain number. Okay, cool. I can work with it, you know. One of my friends, someone Wesley knows, his name's Coop. He does a lot of video stuff, and mostly specifically editing videos for like Sony and stuff. And I was up one time and he was telling me how one of the programs he used said he didn't have enough space. And I was like, space, what do you mean? He was like, I think it said something about VRAM. And I was like, right. So what card do you have? I think he had like a maybe a 3070 at the time. And it was like, I think 12 gigs on the 3070. And so it was like how much he needed was like 14. And it was just like just right there, right? Which is crazy. And we ended up talking about it. I think he ended up like going and like getting a 4090 the next day. And I was like, yeah, I mean, and he was like, that's expensive. And I was like, it is. He this has like really nothing to do with this, right? But he was like, yeah, man, I'm just gonna get rid of this like card. Do you want it? And I was like, because he was gonna give me the 70.
Yeah.
And yes, I did want it. But I was like, honestly, dude, you could probably sell it and get half your money back that you just spent on that other card. So you should probably do that.
That's also the funny thing, is that like that's also what a lot of people were looking for during the announcement of like newer cards. It's just like, let me see how much the older cards are now pre-owned. And
dude, I think people are just gonna hold them.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, because like with what you're telling me about the fucking 5090 fucking overheating and exploding. Well, not exploding, but like, you
I was gonna say, I had seen two things of people saying that it is having that issue. I don't think it's having to the same extent. Maybe some people are still like not plugging it all the way or something.
Like the 4090 all over again, or like the 40 series.
Yeah. But I don't know. I had seen a few things saying that they're not doing too great, but at the same time, like, again, just like cold hard numbers, the GPUs are worse than the previous series.
Yeah,
unless you want to use the AI upscaling. That's
the thing that's wild, is that like I go back to the whole thing about the VRAM shit, because like there was a complaint about the VRAM of like I think for the 4060 or like the 4070, I think there was like people were like there's no difference in between. So it's like, why would you get one over the other? It was weird. There was like a weird thing like that, but I can't really remember. But yeah, like after the 30 series, I feel like the you know, the different version, like the newer versions down to 40 and the 50 are just like no reason to upgrade unless like, yeah, I mean, games will eventually like get more like bombastic and like visual, like there will be a graphical difference, but I feel like in this current market, it's like it's not really necessary to upgrade like now.
Yeah, so the 4060 had 8 gigs and the 4070 had 12.
Okay.
So I think it's between the 4070 and the 4080 you would be thinking.
I think
Because
so.
it goes 12 to 16, and that's like so minimal.
It's so minimal. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, man. That's I don't know. Graphics card, they're the most expensive things of like every single build, but they're the most necessary if you want to play games or do anything work related.
I mean, if you don't have a graphics card, you have a machine that uses Google and word processor.
Yeah.
That's
basically. Yeah. Unless you got one of them good APUs. Those good
I don't think there is a good APU.
Integrated processors. I mean, there is some, but I mean, it does not compare to an actual graphics card. Because like, look at like handheld devices, like the Steam Deck or like the
yeah, but those have to be
Switch.
like specially handcrafted type shit.
Yeah, those are custom jobs, obviously.
Yeah. I'm talking about like, because I've had APUs for my like desktop. They are terrible. Unless there's like a $4,000 one I haven't seen that like can blow the shit out of them. But yeah, for sure. It's just I would never recommend anyone buy APU. Those things are fucking. Just get yourself a GPU and a fucking nice CPU.
Yeah.
I think that's it for my week. I don't know. That's
yeah, bro. It's been 3 weeks. It's been 3 weeks. No, I'm kidding.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
fine.
Fuck yeah. I played Path of Exile.
Oh, my God. There we go. Holy shit. I know we talked about it last podcast, but yeah. How's it going now?
Like level 94.
Oh, my God. Did you beat Elon Musk in his leveling?
I actually went out of my way to find his character, beat him into the ground so he can never come back.
Wow. Why do you hate Doge, bro?
I don't know, fun game, man. I still love it. I actually upgraded my my copy of the game twice now. So I have like the super extra special founder edition. I don't know. Whatever.
Okay.
It's cool. I got more cosmetics from it and in-game currency.
Gotcha. That's good. Yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying that.
Yeah. That's good.
Wesley, you seeing La Saga?
Nah, I'm good.
All right. What did you do, Wesley?
Work, watch anime, sleep, you know.
All right. Thanks, Wesley.
Use.
For my week.
No, wait. Didn't you have something else to say, Wesley?
No, yeah. Yeah. I got back into Baldur's Gate, and dude, oh my god, that game.
Baldur's Gate 3?
Hell yeah.
Damn, bro. I can't believe you're playing the goatee. The goat.
Oh god.
I really should play it, but I mentioned to you that like I'm waiting for that big patch that's gonna happen, because like
patch 8.
Yeah, because like
subclasses and whatnot.
I saw all that shit and I was just like, I should probably wait for that, because that looks massive. It's crazy, but like that's the thing with that game, is that like it's constantly updating. So for me, it feels a little hard to like dive in, because it's like, oh, here's this update that fixes this thing, or here's this update that adds this thing, or here's this other update that adds this thing, and it's like, god damn it.
I mean, right now the only thing everyone's waiting on is patch 8, but like everything else is already there.
Okay.
Like now you have the ability to put on mods on whatever system you're playing on.
Oh my god.
So like even consoles, me and my
Are you playing on
one friend that play.
You're playing on PC or?
Yeah, I'm playing on PlayStation.
Oh, PlayStation. Okay.
I might buy it again on PC just because I don't want the whole fucking.
You want big booty mods? I get you.
Because PlayStation went down.
Not because PlayStation.
Oh, it's back up. It's It's
Are you
back.
sure?
It's back up, baby. I mean, it's back. It's back up for me.
Oh God, Chandra, swear to God.
Oh shit! I
Hmm.
no joke.
Like God.
I looked it up before we got on here and talked. It was red.
And
That's
now
what I'm
You said it's back
saying.
up, and I just checked right now, and it's green. It was red. I swear to
Yeah.
God, 20 minutes, 30 minutes ago, whatever.
Literally, that's why I'm like, stop lying.
Hold on, it's
he just left the chat. Be right back. It's
Oh my
gone.
God.
Yeah, there you go,
But
baby.
yeah, I've been,
it would have been really funny if both of us.
dude.
All of us left.
Literally everybody is online now. That's insane.
That's
It's
so
crazy. How
funny.
long was it for? It's for like
24 hours.
yeah, almost 24 hours.
Yeah.
That's nuts. Because I was like, oh, let me look at the PSN store, see if there's something I want to get. I was seeing that the Sly Cooper games are for PS5, and I was like, oh, let me see.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
the PSN store was like, you can't check this shit out, bro. We're down. And I was like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
I said, excuse you, why you here?
Scoozy, please leave. Go play Xbox
Or PC.
or PC. Don't be here.
Did you hold on, let me see if it's part of the news real quick before I say something.
Mhm.
Alright, hold on, let me change this stupid shit real quick. Offline play. You already have it.
I think I could say it. Did you see apparently that Nintendo and Xbox are gonna partner up?
I didn't see that.
Cool.
Nintendo and Xbox are gonna partner up.
I didn't see that, but a bunch of Xbox games are coming to PlayStation.
Yep.
Yeah. So Forza Horizon 5 is coming to PlayStation, and I forget what else. Oh, Age of Empires.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I think that's also another rumored thing. Halo. But yes, the Xbox is coming to the PlayStation. Finally,
Yep.
Master Chief and Kratos will kiss.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Granted, they
because
probably already
Hopefully.
have at some point, but you know.
Yeah.
Hope they give each other blowies.
Oh man.
Hey, hey, crazy.
They're like, welcome to PlayStation.
Kratos.
That was a very terrible blowjob.
Yeah. Sounded really bad and hurtful.
Sounded more like a fucking dubstep.
Yeah.
You trying to make a Transformer sound?
Fucking stupid.
Oh my god.
So what else you got, Wesley? What you got for the Baldur's Gate? How far are you?
I cleared the first area finally because
Mhm.
I have literally not touched anything else but the first area
Mhm.
when I first played it.
You're widowy hitting the gwitty.
Not literally. I am now level 9.
I forget what's the level cap with that, because it's like D&D stuff is like not crazy high, right?
No.
Yeah.
I think it's like not 16. I don't know. For character wise, I don't know.
Mhm.
But I'm also using like a mod to get more XP.
Oh wow, you're cheating, bro.
There's mods. Why would you not use mods?
I can't
The
believe
fuck?
bro is cheating out here.
Oh, step bro, please stop.
Step bro, stop the cheating.
Step bro, these wall hacks are killing me.
Step bro, I'm stuck because of these mods.
Yeah. Thank you. I was trying to think of something I could.
It's all right.
remember.
I got you. So you're still in the first act? Was he?
Honestly, I don't even know
acting
what.
like he doesn't know. Sorry. My bad.
Honestly, I don't even know like how the game does their like acts or whatever. If like the first area you're in is Act 1, the second area is Act 2. Like I don't know how it's associated, but
Mm.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I really don't know.
Okay. I think the game does tell you eventually, but like the game is it's so massive, and I think it's gonna take a while.
It is.
Mm. Hey man, I mean that do be happening with them CRPGs.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Like
funny
right now.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. No, continue.
No, because like I tried going back to Baldur's Gate original, and it's one of those things where it's like it's an old game, and it's I don't know if I think my attention span has like diminished, because it's just like I couldn't like continue on with it because it's just like, damn, bro, like it feels old. It feels old, and it's weird because it's like I played a little bit of Pillars of Eternity, and even that has like kind of like the same structure as like originals Baldur's Gate, but like I don't know, I like the setup for Pillars of Eternity. It's very interesting, but I haven't gotten too far into it, and I played a little
Original Balls Gate.
Baldur's Gate.
Balls.
But yeah, I haven't played that many CRPGs, but I know with like Baldur's Gate 3, you can just like jump right in. So I feel like that's the good part about that game.
Like you don't really need to play the other ones to get
Essentially, yeah. Because I was just like, I want to check for my curiosity, and then I was just like an hour into the first game, and I was just like, I don't know if this is for me. So what else?
This game, bueno.
Very good.
I'm up to a point in the story where one of the bases got raided.
Oh no, not the bases. All your bases is raided.
And people died.
Goddamn.
People definitely died.
Damn,
especially
bro.
Someone that was pivotal to
the story
companion development.
Oh damn.
And I'm just like,
you're like, oh, I was not expecting that. Damn, bro.
No, yeah, because they were like, oh yeah, it's Carlag if you don't care, but
oh, I cared. I cared.
But yeah, I'm just like, no, now I can't do things.
So, can your party members actually like die and not come back, or is it
No,
more
they
of
can come back?
Okay,
You could revive them.
Gotcha.
Because technically, they're classified as playable characters by you. So
Okay.
like anyone else can't come back to life. Like you
Gotcha.
can't revive them or anything.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So,
And I
good game.
officially met my first god that wiped the party if you didn't go how they wanted you to go. And I'm like, oh, okay. Very D&D like.
Can't believe you did it, bro.
Because they wanted us to go unalive people or unalive someone. And then I was testing the gangster, right? So I was like, but you're a god, so why don't you do it if you're all powerful? And they're like, oh, like essentially like, oh, you don't believe me that I like or whatever. So then they get bigger, and I'm like, oh, okay. And they're like, you shall see my power. And then it's just like, oh yeah, your party has been wiped. Reload the game. And I'm like, there's no fucking way that just happened.
That's a very good thing to have in a game, especially one that's strong with its narrative of just like the unexpected shit that can happen. I feel like it's a very, very good thing. I'm very excited to actually play the game. Anything else?
Fun.
Anything else you've played?
Play a little bit of Destiny.
Oh,
I'm trying to play the new season, but with the whole PlayStation being down, it's kind of hard.
You can't hit the Gwitty on your Destiny.
Nah, I can't. It's funny because the Gritty's actually in Destiny too. But
I know. There was JoJo dances in Destiny. I know.
Yep.
Oh, and we're getting, well, I wouldn't want to say we anymore, but and Destiny's getting Star Wars stuff.
Yeah,
it's already in Star Wars.
Oh,
okay.
man.
It's already in there.
Speaking of Star Wars, but that's my week.
Came out with the new season
of Destiny stuff.
Yeah, you could literally have a lightsaber battle with somebody.
Damn.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Work finally got its first snow day.
Damn, bro.
Which in hindsight didn't really need a snow day.
It's funny because I had work the day that it snowed, and on the way to the job site, I saw like 5 accidents.
Jesus.
It was bad. It was really bad. And I was talking to my coworker. I'm like, my boss is trying to get us killed. Like, it's bad. It was really bad in the morning, but then it cleared up like around the afternoon,
No,
which was the good
literally.
part. Yeah,
Like we
but
were all saying, like, oh, we could have literally just been fine with like a 3-hour delay
mhm.
and whatnot. But they're like, nah, here's
Tom-
a full day.
tomorrow is supposed to be, well, technically like
Tonight,
now-ish.
in
Yeah,
an hour, yeah.
yeah, tonight-ish is supposed to like be pretty bad until tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. For big news.
Oh no, big
Big
news.
news.
Can't believe you're biggin'.
I finally bought a car.
Oh my god.
Oh, nice.
Oh my god.
What'd you end up getting?
Hmm?
What'd you end up getting?
Dodge.
Nice.
Oh, Hellcat.
Yeah. No.
Oh.
I got a
if you said
Hornet.
Hellcat, I would've been like, fuck yeah. Oh, yeah, Hell is nice.
What did you get?
I got a Hornet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, those are nice.
It's so nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's your first car. You're gonna love it.
Yeah.
Did you kiss it?
Yeah, did you
No.
fuck it? Did you fuck its tailpipe yet, you fucker?
No.
Fuck.
Sorry,
Jesus.
I kept thinking about that one video of that guy that came I think came back to social media. It's the guy, I think, from that episode of like do you remember there was a show, I don't know if it was on TLC or Discovery or somewhere, it was about like addictions and stuff like that,
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
and one of them was a guy who fucks his car or was in a relationship with his car, something like that. And there's a recent video of him like coming back being like, hey, it's me, if you don't know who I am, here's a clip of who I am, and like it's the clip of him making out with his car.
Nice.
Yeah, but anyways, yeah, did you fuck your car yet?
No.
Oh, okay. Yet. Yet.
It's true.
mean,
He didn't say.
not happening.
We're taking
so-
things
I'll
slow.
never do it.
We're taking things slow. My car is a
Only
lady.
been a week, Jones.
My car is a lady.
Gosh.
She deserves respect. After I finish my
Jesus.
saga. All right. Well,
Oh.
hope you enjoy your new car.
It's dope.
I hope you go.
Maybe you shall see one day.
I probably will see one day. Hopefully, you go from 0 to 60 real quick.
I have a question. Can I get half of it?
No.
Okay.
I was gonna say,
Oh.
which half do you want of the car?
Question's done being questioned.
Okay.
Also, how does one get half a car?
I mean, you could.
You figure it out.
Yeah. I would say that's between you and him.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how does one get half a car?
Wesley just hears beeping one night. He's like, what the fuck is going on? Looks out the window, Chunch's pants are down, he's humping your car.
Oh my
Damn,
god.
Wait, where did me becoming a car fucker come into this?
Because you were the one saying it, and usually the person
Hey
saying
man,
it
I
sometimes
have
is the
to
one
ask,
doing
all
it.
right? Whoever I talk to on the podcast, I gotta ask whether or not they fuck the cars, all right?
It's
You gotta be
basically,
wary.
essentially the rules of whoever smelt it dealt it is applied
Yeah,
to everything
true.
in life.
I'm trying to think of the equivalent of that with car fucking. Whoever
Whoever asked a question about car fucking is fucking their car.
No, it's got a rhyme, bro. It's got a rhyme.
Okay.
Anyways, we'll come back to it at some point. We'll workshop that.
Workshop.
Workshop it. We'll put a pin in it
Yeah.
and revisit it later.
Oh, boy.
So, moving on from car fucking, what else you got, Wesley?
Pretty dope.
It's a good transition, huh?
I don't know. Nothing really happened.
Nothing with anime. Nothing with nothing.
Anime. I'm watching Ghost Stories dubbed.
Oh God, really?
It's so fucking stupid.
You know that story, right? Of like why it's like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they just gave the voice actors essentially
Like just
full
see
reign
a free
of
reign.
whatever
Yeah,
the fuck they
yeah.
want to do.
They're like,
yeah.
fuck it, do it, whatever. Because I forget what happened. Something happened with like the Japanese licensing or something like that. Something weird. Some weird business shit happened in the background. They were like, we can't do anything with this. So
Mm-hmm. So
do
they're
whatever you
"Here
want."
go.
yeah,
Yeah.
good.
It's so stupidly funny.
It's yeah. That humor is very 2000s.
Yep,
Crazy, yeah.
it's great though.
Mm-hmm. Anything else?
Second, what else? Not really.
No
Yeah, not
movies.
really.
No
Mainly Baldur's Gate, fucking car.
car fucking.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
that's all you. You got it.
All right.
That's about it.
All right.
Jones confirm car fucker.
No, please don't spread these rumors about me.
Oh my god, what if it
Yeah.
gets back to Elon?
No, don't tell Elon that he's gonna take my cars. He's gonna take away the Tesla. No, he's
He'll
not gonna
give you a Tesla just to
just
Those,
to-
serve.
just
those
to
don't run
fuck
as
it.
hot as you want them to, though. You know, you
Just
want that
to fuck-
tailpipe real warm.
just to fuck that Tesla.
You want that gas. You know,
Mm.
you want that gas.
Jesus.
I'm still trying to think of like a rhyme. All right. So that's it for Wesley's weeks.
Essentially.
Baldur's Gate and car and La
Yo, for real,
Saga.
though, congratulations on the car, bro.
Yeah, man.
That's good
Congrats.
shit.
Thank you.
Finally, after
You'll
years.
probably see it when you come up.
Yeah. I'm surprised you're not doing like
Wow.
thirst videos of like your car.
Yo, yeah. If I
Dude,
went
okay.
on his TikTok and it was just like shirtless Wesley, like thirst with his thirst
Yeah,
trap
it
with
was-
his car, I would lose my mind.
Surprisingly, I have not posted it on social media yet.
Mm.
And it's
Okay.
been a week.
Yeah, it's been a week.
Yeah.
You will eventually.
We get back together next week, and he's like, "I lost it in a race."
I didn't know what I was doing. I was so caught up. I thought I was gonna win.
Showed up out of nowhere.
Yeah, Vin Diesel.
You,
Yo,
you Wesley family.
Like, I need that car.
family.
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 Oh, yeah.
Oh man, Wesley in Fast and Furious 11. Oh man,
Dude, that'd be sick. Stop it. That'd be
I still
awesome.
gotta finish watching those movies.
No, you don't.
You
I got to
fool.
I got to
No, you
5, and I got to the midway point of like that's where they start doing the stupidest shit, and I'm
I thought you
very
made it through
excited.
all of them.
No, I didn't. I only got through 5.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was just like, yeah, these are good.
Rapido
Like,
Cinco.
yeah, Rapido Cinco or Wild. What's it like? Wild Rides. It's Fast and Furious has like a different name in Japan, and I forget what it's called.
Oh.
Wild
okay.
Speed, something like that.
Speed.
But yeah, I still gotta watch.
I am Speed.
I want to.
Wait, it has a different name in what again? I'm sorry.
in Japanese.
Oh. No, isn't it just? I thought the name was like.
Check it out. Just look it up.
No.
No.
That's not the name.
No, it's not dun
Okay.
dun 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 dun.
They don't call it Tokyo Drift over there.
No, they don't. They call it Wild Speed Tokyo Avalanche or something like that. I don't remember. Hey, I want to see Ludacris get shot into space.
Fucking god.
When someone described that to me, I started losing my shit. I was like, I have to watch this series.
Yes, sir. Have you seen Ludacris? Like,
Recently?
yeah, he recently was like trying to do something with rap. Obviously, because he used to rap, but he was like,
What do you mean? What do you mean he used to rap? Ludacris was a rapper?
He was doing like this freestyle recently, and in the freestyle, he was like, "Don't forget, I'm one of the best. There ain't nobody like the rest," or something like that. And I was just like, "Ew, no,
I can't
You've
believe-
never been one of the best."
I can't believe bro's coming out here telling me that Ludacris used to rap. He's gonna tell me that Ice-T used to rap as well. What do you mean? The guy from the family movies? Get out of here.
Family.
What do you mean? A
Right.
guy named after a drink?
First of
After a
all-
what?
First of all, Ice Cube is the one you're talking about in the family movies. You bitch.
No. Well, yeah,
Ice
that's
T is the
Well,
guy
I mean,
from Law and
Law
Order.
yeah. I mean, that's technically a family show, right?
Mhm.
Where one of the
Oh.
family members gets murdered.
I'm thinking about that. I think it's Kyle MacLachlan where he shoots that kid. I think it's from
What?
Law and Order. Like a kid is like this kid was like a psychopath, and like the dad played by
Okay, yeah.
Kyle MacLachlan was trying to like get the police to arrest the kid.
I don't know who Kyle MacLachlan is.
He's from Twin Peaks and from
Okay,
the
okay,
Fallout show. He's the dad.
Old Man?
Yeah,
Oh,
the
okay, yeah,
the
I
dad
know who he
character.
is now.
Mhm.
Because you said Fallout, now I know.
No, I said Twin Peaks.
But you said Fallout after.
No, Twin Peaks though.
How was your week?
So Oh, is Wesley done? Are you done, Wesley? Before I dive
No,
into my
you're
week.
good. You're
I
good.
think
Okay.
we hijacked his goddamn segment, bro.
He was talking about his
Like you
his love
always
for his
do,
car.
you know?
No, you were talking about the love of your life, your car, and I was just like Twin Peaks, though. Do you want to add anything, Wesley?
No, no.
Okay. All right. My
It's
turn
okay.
now. My week.
All right, so this.
Oh. Oh no. Uh-huh.
No, you guys
Oh,
continue.
okay. So my weeks have been filled with a bit of sadness. Uh David Lynch has passed away, so there's that. Um but other than that, Chonch has been doing Chonch things.
Oh yeah, I forgot he passed away.
Yeah, that's part of the news. David Lynch passed away at 78.
Damn.
If you don't know his any of his movies or TV shows, I think everybody can describe him as like one of like the most abstract and auteur directors of movies and TV series. I love his stuff. I think they're genuinely like really good self-reflection of like how it is to be somebody that wants to create. But it's funny because either you like him or you hate him, because a lot of critics did not like some of his stuff until like I think I want to say it was until maybe The Elephant Man, where people started to like him a little bit more. But either way, like I would recommend like watching some of his stuff, because I wouldn't say they should be movies to make you think. They are just really fun things to experience because of like what is going inside in his head to come up with these things. And I think that's what makes his movies like really, really fun. The first movie I ever saw from him was, I think, the first half of Blue Velvet. And it wasn't until like later, like in my 20s, where I watched a movie called Eraserhead. And Eraserhead was like I believe his directorial debut. And it's essentially a movie about a man going crazy from having a child. That he becomes a single parent. And that movie was often described by him as being very personal because of the fact that he was a new parent, and the sounds of his child like haunt him, like because he wasn't getting enough sleep. So there's very interesting things of like, you know, what he picks up from his daily life and like incorporates into his movies. But you know, you have your Eraserhead, and one of my personal favorites, I think I would say it's like one of my top movies. It's called The Elephant Man. That movie is so beautiful. I'm trying to find a way to like talk about how wonderful that movie is, but I would rather just let people watch it, because like that movie, I would say, affected me a lot more than I anticipated. And it's a very like straight linear story, which is surprising compared to like his other movies, where like they're very weird and they go in like very different directions, but they have something that it's trying to do with its narrative, which is the interesting part of when he writes his movies. Because his other stuff like Lost Highway and Mulholland Drive are like very weird movies, but if you try to like think about what it's trying to say, it starts to make sense a little bit. But that's something that you have to come up with your own idea of what it is. Blue Velvet is also another one where it's like it's also a very weird movie, but the story is pretty like straightforward. Like it's a weird murder mystery. But the main thing that people talk about with David Lynch is his show Twin Peaks, which he co-wrote and co-directed with a man by the name of Mark Frost. And that series it's very interesting, Twin Peaks, because last year basically I went like a whole David Lynch like binge last year. So I watched the entirety of Twin Peaks and I watched everything. I watched the TV series, I watched the movie, Fire Walk with Me, and then I watched the Return, the final season. And it is such an experience. But I can only imagine for like people who were like really into that series, and then when the end of season 2 happened and the show got canceled, it's crazy to think that like 25 years passed for like anything Twin Peaks related to come back to surface. And even then, like after the show got canceled, they came out with a prequel movie, and the prequel movie is like so tonally different from the show that I think a lot of like fans were like either pissed that it didn't solve everything about what happened in like the last season, and that it was a prequel, and because it was also very, very tonally different. But that movie, Fire Walk with Me, is some real good David Lynch shit of like the stuff they can pull off of like just creepy stuff, but also having a bit of a comedic side. But then like his weird experimentations on like what he does in like film editing is kind of the thing that hinders that movie, because it's funny, because if you want like shit that kind of like pieces together for the last season, you kind of have to watch the deleted scenes for Fire Walk with Me, and like some stuff gets explained, and it's like, oh, there was a mention of that from the movie, from the deleted scene, that kind of gets answered in the final season. So it's like weird shit like that. But overall, like Twin Peaks was such a fun time and such a journey that I feel like whoever watches it will forever take like Twin Peaks into their mind and like put a special place for it, because it's so weird. And that third season is like really weird, really weird. And that ending is like the icing on the cake of like, what does this all mean? And like I said, either you can love it or you hate it. I loved it because I'm one of those people that like loves like weird endings and shit. So I really like the ending of Twin Peaks: The Return, but I know a lot of people did not like the ending. But yeah, David Lynch, of the American treasure, David Lynch. Sad to see that he passed away. Yeah. So other than that, what has Chunch been doing? I've been reading a book a little bit. I'm not that far into it. I'm like on the 3rd chapter, but I read the sample to the point where like I'm like, I want to read the rest of this. It's a book called, hold on, where the fuck is my app? It's called Into That Darkness. Yes, Into That Darkness. It is a book that is essentially an interview with one of the heads of the guards over in Treblinka, which was a concentration camp in Poland. Is it in Poland, Treblinka? Anyways, it's basically an interview with the head guard. I don't know if I'm even getting his position correctly, but one of the heads over at that concentration camp. And the interview is basically what could make a person who has compassion and has the ability to love and learn and to understand right from wrong, to do such things, to do something so vile and evil. And the interesting part is that the interviewer understands that like what this person did is awful. Like it is unforgivable for what they did. Because I think he was responsible for the gas chambers. But she wanted to go into a little bit more of his life, of like how he grew up, when he got married, how life was for him, and then the transition from like, you know, how his world was to when the Nazis came in and basically took control of everything. So it's a very interesting like worldview of his. And what's also pretty interesting as well is that she goes to different people that he mentions in his stories, of like people that helped him or people in his work life, and she goes to talk to them and be like, okay, what did he say, is it true to what you experienced? Like, is it like, did you have this conversation with him at some point? Because she goes to visit this guy's wife. And it's interesting because like she gives a little bit of a backstory of like, yeah, after what happened in Austria and Germany and like everywhere where the Nazis occupied, a lot of the Nazis fled. So a lot of them went to South America. And funny enough, he went to Brazil. And he went to like an industrial area of Brazil and basically lived there until he got extradited, and got taken to face to face trial. And yeah, it's just like this interesting part of like a lot of those motherfuckers fled, and they fled to different parts of South America, and like people wouldn't realize until like, oh, let me trace the history of these people who lived in there. Like they look very Aryan. What's their deal? But yeah, apparently like they, once they went to Brazil, they started to learn Portuguese, and like they became, part of the area. And I think they also changed their names, was also the other factor as well. But it's a very interesting read. I do like it. I'm probably going to read more of it, because it is just an interesting like perspective of somebody that like knows what he did was wrong, but because of how society was and because of what was happening in the world, changed his morals and changed them in a way that like according to his like country's laws and rules were technically right. Very good. Into that darkness. As for shit that I watched, hey, I think the last thing I talked about was Nosferatu. I watched Fantastic Mr. Fox. You ever watch that? I'm gonna take
No,
okay.
I've heard of it though.
Yeah, it's a Wes Anderson movie. It's good. It's an animated movie. It's fun. It's a Wes Anderson movie. I liked it. I watched The Substance with Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley. Have you seen trailers for this?
I don't know people, so probably not.
Okay. Basically the trailer, I don't know if Haller went to go take a dump, but
Probably.
yeah. The Substance is a movie about this aging actress. She realizes that she's gotten too old, so she decides to acquire this thing called the Substance that basically allows her to become another person, a younger and better version of herself. And the movie kind of goes from there and kind of shows that like the degradation of this person and like how bad shit can get because of this substance. I don't want to ruin too much of it because it's a very weird but really good movie. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Let's see what else. So I got really into the 3D Star Wars series. You ever watch the 3D Star Wars?
I don't even know what that is.
The Star Wars?
No, the 3D Star Wars.
The cartoon?
Oh, no.
No? Okay. I don't know why I decided, because like I've always mentioned this before. I have like a love-hate relationship with Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
So I always heard that the 3D animated shows were really good. And funny enough, the 3D animated stuff became canon in the Star Wars universe, and with a lot of those Star Wars TV shows. There's a lot of characters from the 3D stuff that gets thrown into there. So
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? Let me watch the 2D animated show, which was done by Genndy Tartakovsky, I believe, the creator of Samurai Jack and Primal. And it was surprising how good it was. I didn't realize that the 2D stuff was actually like mini episodes. So on Disney Plus, they basically have like all the episodes like in a long form factor of like movies essentially. So it's like episodes 1 through 15 in one hour that you can watch, and it's you get like the first half of the Clone Wars because that's like the major stuff that they decide to stick with around that time. It was the Clone Wars. And then the second half is a transition to Revenge of the Sith. Yeah, so it was good. The only thing that was a little weird was how Liam Neeson looked Qui-Gon Jinn in the 2D version, but that's besides the point. He looks really weird. But the actual art style itself is actually like pretty well done. Because they kind of look like caricatures, but like they still kind of look close to Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen. But essentially the story takes place within the Clone Wars of like after episode 2, before episode 3, and like, you know, kind of like shows that like, yeah, basically they've been fighting this war for like a good bit between the Separatists, the Siths, and what the Siths were up to at the time. So it's funny to see that the 3D animated show was a thing that got kind of like it relaunched the 2D stuff kind of. Where it's like, okay, let's take stuff from the 2D and put it in the 3D cartoon, and it works, you know. It's still the Clone Wars stuff. It's still like the war continues. And they introduced a whole thing with like Anakin getting a Padawan, Ahsoka. And yeah, essentially you watch the 3D movie that came out like years ago, I think like 2005 or 6 or something like that. And then after you watch the movie, you go watch the TV series, and the TV series kind of like each episode is like, what are the Separatists up to this time? Oh, they're trying to fuck up a planet. All right, go the Republic Jedis, go save them. But so far I do like that they make Anakin a relatable character, which is really funny, because that was the thing that I did not like about the prequel movies as much, is that like Anakin felt like, I don't know, he felt so drab, and like I just didn't give a shit about Anakin's problems, especially that he was losing Padme. But in the TV series they give him a lot more character, and I like that. I like the fact that he's able to play off his Padawan Ahsoka, and Ahsoka is able to like, you know, keep up with him essentially, and she has those tendencies like he does, that she's very headstrong, wants to get shit done, but he kind of has to take moments to reflect and be like, you know, I'm supposed to teach this person who's going to become a Jedi one day right from wrong. Like I have to like reevaluate myself. It's neat to see that. And overall, the show is pretty good. I'm not that far into it. I'm like on the second season, but yeah, it's like every episode is like, you know, what are the Jedi up to this week? One little neat fact that I found out: hey, Obi-Wan Kenobi is played by Ratchet from Ratchet and Clank.
Cool.
Yeah, that was really weird. That was really, really cool. But I'm like, wow, he does a really good job. Like to sound like Ewan McGregor. It's very good. It's very good. So I'm enjoying the 3D series, and I probably will continue on, because the other thing I'm very interested is in the other 3D stuff and how they relate to the 3D series, because there's like Star Wars Rebels and like the Bad Batch. So I'm interested in those shows, because even the cool part that I like is they show a lot more character for the clone troopers. Like the clone troopers have their own identity, and I think that's really cool. Like in some episodes you're with the clone troopers, and like their whole spiel of like, you know, we're fighting in a war that we don't know how long it's gonna last, and we'll see how this goes. Yeah, clone troopers are like pretty cool. As for that, well, besides that, actually, you ever watch the Doom movie with The Rock?
Nope.
No? Carl Urban and The Rock?
That already sounds bad.
It's not as bad as I thought it would be. Well, I watched it like years ago, so I rewatched it to like see whether or not my opinions have changed. It's not bad. It's not like the greatest video game adaptation, but it's all right for what it does. Yeah, I would say if you have like a free like hour and a half, I forget how long it is, but like if you have a free amount of time, I'd say watch it. It's not bad. It has like a little cool moment where they do like first person shooting. It's really dumb, but it's fun. Uh, let's see. Oh, I watched Conan the Barbarian.
Nice.
I can see where people got the Schwarzenegger sounds whenever he goes like him like yelling and his weird gurgling essentially.
Mm-hmm.
From that movie. It's definitely from that movie. But I watched Conan the Barbarian, and it was good. It was enjoyable. I thought it was like a much lower budget, but that movie is like a lot of the scenery and landscape shots are really like pretty and really like surprising, and I was just like blown away of like I thought this was like a B movie. But no, like apparently a lot of budget got thrown into that. But overall it's fun. It's a fun time. It's very bloody. Like I said, I thought it was very goofy because it's based off a comic book series. So I thought it was going to be like, you know, played up for like the hamminess of being a comic book, but no, it's like surprisingly violent and bloody and gory. And the ending is pretty much satisfying. James Earl Jones, the voice of Darth Vader, is the bad guy, and yeah, he does a pretty good job of being the bad guy. But Schwarzenegger, that's the thing, is that like Schwarzenegger as Conan doesn't really have a personality. He's just a dude. But his backstory is obviously tragic because you know, James Earl Jones is the reason why he's in the position that he's in. But overall, pretty good movie. I would recommend it. I'm about to watch the sequel called Conan the Destroyer, and I hear that is like kind of mixed, but I'm willing to go and watch it because I forgot to mention Conan is in Mortal Kombat 1 and he seems pretty fun, but I haven't played him at all. I haven't gone back to Mortal Kombat 1 like at all, but you know, he looks fun. Mm-hmm. And then what else did I watch? Did you ever watch? God, it sucks. Where is Howler? Did he go take a dump like for reals?
Going to sleep.
Damn it. Because I feel like he watched this movie and I wanted to talk to him about it.
Either that or he's muted and he doesn't even realize.
No, I think he put it on mute. No, let me send a message to, or can you send him a message? See what he's up to.
I am currently playing a video game.
Oh my god, why you do this?
I guess I'll do it. Gosh.
So I watched a Ridley Scott movie, called The Last Duel. It's with Adam Driver, Matt Damon, and Jodie Comer. Essentially, it's a historical movie about 3 viewpoints on an incident that happened in like medieval France. Hold on. I'm trying to see if I can send a message to this bitch. It's very neat. A lot of people compared this movie to an Akira Kurosawa movie called Rashomon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you sent a message. Thank God. Rashomon is a movie that is also described to have like different people's like perspectives on an event that happened and how other people perceive the event. So some people perceive it as like something that happened well or something that happened not too great and like different shit like that. I have yet to watch Rashomon, but I hear it's one of Akira Kurosawa's like best, but that's besides the point. So I watched The Last Duel, and like I said, this is an event that happened to this this countess over in France that her husband's former friend essentially raped her and assaulted her.
Not the grape.
Yeah, he did the grape. And it's interesting because obviously in that time period of like, okay, women didn't have rights. That's like the biggest point.
Wow,
That's
that's crazy.
that's the biggest point, is like in that movie it kind of goes to show women in those times did not have rights at all. They were properties of their husbands. And they separate the movie into 3 acts. There's the first act that is the husband, then the second act of the perpetrator, and then the third act is the wife. And you get the husband, played by Matt Damon, and his account of like what essentially led up to that point, that he was in favor of his lord, and then he became out of favor of his lord, and then his best friend, the perpetrator, played by Adam Driver, essentially became the favorite of his lord, and then jealousy started to grow. So then you get the second act where Adam Driver commits the act, and you get his perspective of like essentially he's in love with the wife, and I forget what it was. It's just like he was in love with her, and the whole event that happened was like something that can only be misinterpreted, that like I'm gonna say this and it's very gross, but it's like her saying no was saying yes. Yeah. So then you have the third act, and it's the wife, and she basically explains the events, and her perspective is like, that third act made my like stomach turn because how uncomfortable it was, because you start to get more of the truth about her life with her husband, and then you start to get her perspective about the guy who assaulted her. And then the outcome from that, which is basically she tells her husband that, hey, he raped me and I want you to do something about that. And then her husband essentially is like, oh, he did this to get back at me. So I'm going to get him because that is my honor and you're my property. So basically he took something from me, essentially. It's very gross when you like actually like see on screen. So they get to like the actual trial, or like the hearing for the trial, and it's in front of the French king, and basically like all of like the council people of like the court are there, and they ask her like questions like, so why are you bringing this up now? Like essentially like it felt like a witch trial for a lady that is like a huge evil has been done to me. I want this to be solved, but the council, the chairmans, the people there that are hearing this are all a bunch of men that don't understand or think that I'm lying because I'm a woman. And like it's just like one of those things where it's just like it drives you insane, because it's like you got her perspective, as the audience, but then you're having all these people that don't know her basically be like, well, are you sure you didn't enjoy it? Like, are you not in love with Adam Driver? Like, didn't you say that he was handsome one time at a party? And then she's like, what does that have to do with anything? So they're like, okay, so your husband and Adam Driver are going to have to fight in a duel to the death. And you do realize that if your husband loses, you will be burned. And basically that means that's Adam Driver's innocence. So, good luck. That's how it goes. It's just like, you got to make sure your husband kills that guy in order to prove your innocence. And like, it's the most ridiculous thing when you think about, but like I said, you have to remember that in that era, those were the laws. That was the rule, because like I said, wives were not like people. They were property. They were bargaining chips as well. So it's like that is the whole point. But it's a very good movie. It's very slow in the beginning because it's just like, it's a historical set piece. And I can see why some people, I think, didn't really talk about this movie as much. But like I said, it is that third act where it's just like, oh my God, like it is stomach churning. And it's just like, oh man, like it just made me feel like awful at the end of it. Like once the credits rolled, I was just like, oh my fucking god, this ending. It's just like, oh man, but it's very good. Everybody does like an A+ job. Matt Damon is in it with Ben Affleck, you know, because how they're buddies essentially. And it's funny because like I would feel personally in my own casting, I kind of would want Ben Affleck as the Adam Driver character, but it is what it is because Ben Affleck plays, I think, the Lord, and he has like blonde hair and no, he doesn't have blue eyes, but he has like blonde hair and he looks very weird. But it's a very good movie. Everybody does a very good job. And yeah, just like that whole hearing sequence of her basically pleading to the court of like, can we do something about this, is just like, I was just so pissed because I was like, come on, man. Because even how they describe of how like a baby is conceived is like the most ludicrous shit in the world of like, and in order to create a child, in order to have a baby, you must enjoy sex from your husband. Did you enjoy sex from your husband? And she's like, yes. And it's like, okay, so did you enjoy sex with Adam Driver? Did you achieve orgasm? Because if you achieved orgasm, that means you enjoyed it, right? Yeah, it's just like, oh, it's like, what? Like, it's like it. Like I said, it is one of those things where it's like, yes, that was the era, that was the medieval times. But yeah, overall, very, very, very good movie. I recommend it. You don't have Disney Plus, do you?
I do.
Okay, do you have Hulu?
Yeah, but I have added Hulu.
Okay, I was about to say because it's on Hulu. I would give it a recommendation if you're interested in watching it. It's very good. So yeah, after that, I watched another movie on Hulu called The Empty Man. I liked it.
Seen Empty Man?
Yeah, kind of, sort of. The movie got me until it didn't. And it wasn't until the end where I had more questions than answers. Even though they basically gave out the answers, I still had more questions. It's pretty good. It's kind of like a horror thriller. Surprisingly enough, this was a movie that was made by 20th Century Fox, but this was before they merged with Disney. So essentially this movie it didn't even get a theatrical release. Essentially Disney was just like, we don't know what to do with it, so let's put it on Disney Plus or Hulu and see what it does. And it kind of got forgotten to time. But overall the atmosphere is really good, like for a horror movie. It's really, really good. But like I said, the revelations that happen at the end, I was so fucking confused. I was just like, I don't get it. I don't know if I got it. I think I got it, but I don't know if I got it fully. But it's good. It's good overall. If you want like a spooky time. Speaking about spooky time, I watched a horror movie called Suitable Flesh. It stars Heather Graham. Yeah, Heather Graham. Essentially, a demon wants to possess this lady, and yeah, basically that's it. Demon wants to possess this lady and go cause havoc. It's good. It's a kind of a lower budget movie, and it kind of shows, but it's still pretty good. A lot of the makeup effects are pretty well done. And then after that, I saw a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie called Time Cop.
Hell yeah.
Do you ever watch Time Cop?
Nah, but I feel like I've heard of it though.
Okay, it's I watched it on Prime Video, and like, that's a pretty good, like, fun. That's a fun movie. It's stupid. But it's one of those movies that like you kind of have to like not think about the time travel aspect of it, because then it gets way too confusing. Because like if you ever seen any other media that kind of tries to like use time travel, it's really hard to like validate time travel and like, there's a lot of things could be solved of just like, why don't you go just further into the past and like fix that in the past?
No,
No,
story.
because then story, yeah, because time cop has those moments of just like, why did you travel to this time period? But it's fun. Yeah, essentially Jean-Claude Van Damme is a time cop, and he has to stop a bad guy from time crimes. There is a knife fight scene that is the most stupidest thing I've ever seen, like choreography wise. It's really dumb. It's super dumb. But overall the movie is pretty fun. And like I said, the whole time travel shit, you kind of have to just throw it out the window. I think I got ruined on time travel stories because of a Netflix show called Dark, because that's also like a time travel thing, and that time travel shit is like kind of like, oh, this is how time travel would work. It's very good. I would say Dark is good, and Time Cop was also pretty fun. And then I watched A Quiet Place Day 1.
Me too.
I went in with like low expectations, and it was pretty good. I was surprised.
Yeah.
No, I done by the director that did a movie called Pig with Nicolas Cage. It's very slow burn, surprisingly, even though you have like the instances of like, what are they called? Death angels, right? The aliens.
I don't know what that is.
The aliens in A Quiet Place.
Yeah, no idea.
Okay, I think they're called Death Angels. But anyways, like it's one of those things that's surprising that like it's done really well, because it feels more like more character driven than I was anticipating. With the whole thing with Lupita Nyong'o and Joseph Quinn.
That was an interesting matchup.
Yeah, like they're really solid. Well, Lupita Nyong'o is, I like anything she's in. This is like the one thing that I really like about Lupita Nyong'o is that she's emotions are clear on her face. Like she's so good at like showing emotion. Like it's done incredibly well. But like I said, Joseph Quinn is like very solid. I don't think I've seen him in anything else. I know he was I know he's going to be the Human Torch in the new Fantastic Four movie, and he was in yeah, I think he was in Stranger Things and the new Gladiator.
I still have to see that.
I still have to see it. I heard not great things about Gladiator 2, but like I still am curious. Because all I want is Denzel to be Yonkers bad cop in Roman times. But he's very solid in this as well. Like I like their character dynamic of just like this dude that's like, fuck it. Like he's also like tired, but he's also like, this event is still happening, so he is like scarred. He still has like moments of like when anxiety just like fucking hits him like a truck, and Lupita Nyong'o has to like calm him down, and she's like, breathe.
Like, shut up or we'll die.
Yeah, like shut up or we'll die. Like you have to like calm down. Also, Frodo, the best cat. Holy shit, that cat is.
Oh, fuck that cat.
No, that cat's great.
That cat almost got what's his face killed like so many times.
Oh yeah, the Wolfhard, not the Wolfhard. What is his name? God, I forget his name, but he's in like in everything. He was in the Naked Brothers. Do you remember that from Nickelodeon?
Oh, the Naked Brothers band.
Yeah, he's one of the brothers. I think he's the youngest. But anyways, yes, he almost got him killed. But that wasn't the cat's fault. It was the bell. But then along the way, the cat helps. That's a good cat, Frodo. Yeah, surprisingly very solid movie. I didn't watch A Quiet Place Part 2. I didn't hear good things about it. I essentially heard that like it's the first movie all over again, but with Cillian Murphy. The first Quiet Place I liked for the most part, but didn't really take anything from it.
Yeah. Like the second one was good, but it was weird without the guy in it.
John Krasinski.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, it's I don't know, like I have no urge to go watch the second one because I was just like, didn't really need a sequel to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, even then, this movie kind of being a prequel is interesting, but it's still a good story, like overall. Because you know, you have
Yeah, it's like cool to find out like where they came from and whatnot.
but I'm kind of glad they
I did
don't.
not know they were like aliens.
I think in the first movie they do say that they came from the sky, so I think that was basically it. But they don't know like the purpose of these things, like why or where or like how they came from the sky. But even then, like I said, it's more character driven because you have Lupita Nyong'o's character like dying of cancer, and then her whole backstory of like she lost her father at a young age, and like you know you have that whole sequence of like her being like, I'm going to go get pizza, and everybody around her is like, why are you doing that? And she's like, I'm
And you
going.
realize at the end, yeah.
And like basically she like tells Joseph Quinn, yeah, the reason why I want to go get this pizza is because like I want a final memory of the good times I've had with my father. And it's just like Jesus Christ. It's like Jesus Christ. Yeah, Pig is also like that as well. This director's like previous movie Pig with Nicolas Cage, it's also like a character movie as well, of just like what is so important about the pig? Why is the pig so important? That's also a good movie. But yeah, Quiet Place day one, pretty good. As for stuff that I've been playing for video games, hey man, did I talk about Indiana Jones last podcast? I don't remember.
You always talk about Indiana Jones.
Well, I mean, I beat the game. I want to talk about the game. It was good. Yeah, it was a good ass game. That's it. That's all I had to say. If you like the Indiana Jones movies, the game is like the movies. It's good. I also
Nice.
Space Marine 2. Finished that. Have you played Space Marine?
Nope.
Okay.
Didn't have it.
All right. It's very good. I enjoyed it as like a video game. I enjoyed the fuck out of it. As for Warhammer shit, I don't know too much about Warhammer besides me reading the first Horus Heresy book. And I like that book. It's pretty good. But overall, you know, for the Emperor, fight chaos. That's essentially it. Yeah, it's good. Good shit. Visually, it's impressive. Like, it's a visually impressive game. But essentially, it's like taking your action figures and like fucking hitting them together. But overall, I had fun with that game. As for like shit that I've been playing on and off, Tekken, obviously Tekken 8. I'm playing as Clive. Clive is good. Clive is very fun. I finally got to Garyu, I believe, which was the rank that I've been like aiming for. And I probably will play a little bit more Clive later on, but we'll see. We'll see when we get there.
Nice.
Yeah, Clive is fun. I played a little bit more of Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising, which is the fighting game version. I've been checking out some of the newer characters. There's one character that looks really cool. But you know, I've been on and off with that game specifically. Virtua Fighter 5 Revo came out, and I've been meaning to go and play with that. I've been playing a little bit of Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader, which is a CRPG. Some good shit in that. That first act is pretty good. I mean, I haven't gotten through all of it. I'm like still pretty early, but still pretty good. I remember I started up Kingdom Come Deliverance, but I didn't get that far into it because I know that sequel came out. And the shit that's been taking up most of my time, even though I wanted to get another game to take up most of my time, but like, well, Well, it was Wolfenstein. I've been like trying to replay all the Wolfenstein games. Last podcast I talked about beating Wolfenstein: The New Order. And I'm playing Wolfenstein: The Old Blood currently, but then I kind of got sidetracked with this shit. So I've been playing all the Ninja Gaiden games. You play any of the Ninja Gaiden games?
Nah, I might play 2 though. That's since it's on Game Pass.
Black or
Yeah, 2.
okay. Well, I mean, there's different versions. Let me get into this because this is the shit that gets crazy about this series. Okay, so the 3D Ninja Gaiden games. There's Ninja Gaiden 2004, Ninja Gaiden Black, Sigma, Ninja Gaiden 2, Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, Ninja Gaiden 3, Ninja Gaiden 3's Razor's Edge, and Black, 2 Black. So those
Probably 2 Black.
Yeah, so it's most likely 2 Black because that's the newest one. And now eventually Ninja Gaiden 4 is gonna come out. And there was a side game called Ninja Gaiden Z Yaiba. I plan on playing that on stream, but I'll get to that eventually. So I went through all the Ninja Gaiden games besides Ninja Gaiden Original 2004 because I think it's kind of impossible to play on current systems. You can only play Black on like Xbox because of the backwards compatibility stuff. So I initially played Ninja Gaiden Sigma 1. And do you know anything about these games like at all?
They're supposed to be really fucking hard.
They're tough. They're very tough games. And this is coming from somebody that's played like From Software Dark Souls stuff. And a lot of people have used to describe those games as very difficult. Oh, there he is. This bitch went to go take a dump. I'm talking about the 3D Ninja Gaiden games. Oh wait, before I head on with Ninja Gaiden, did you watch The Last Duel?
No.
Oh, I thought you with Matt Damon and Adam Driver.
Is that the one where like
it's in France?
One of their wives gets sexually assaulted.
Yes.
Yeah, that movie's like gross.
Yeah, there you go.
I really don't enjoy it.
I watched. I was telling Wesley that's a very good movie. That third act like made my stomach turn.
I don't know if I agree it's good.
I liked it. I liked it because of the whole like 3 different perspectives.
It has good actors in it and actresses, but I've seen better movies.
Oh my god, this guy. Yeah, it's Die Hard. We get it. All right, Jesus Christ.
Oh, if
the wife was in Nakatomi Plaza, maybe I would have cared.
Yeah, if she was getting banged out in Nakatomi Plaza, I'd probably like it better.
Oh my god. Can't believe you said that.
What, banged out?
Oh my god. And on the recording too. I'm gonna have to edit this out.
Is that not okay terminology?
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
If only Wesley was banging out his
Oh my god. Well, that I can agree upon. But like, anyways.
All right, get back to your thing.
All right. So I was talking about Ninja Gaiden. Have you played Ninja? Oh, okay, he's gone again.
No, I'm here.
Okay.
I just muted myself so you don't hear like munching, you know?
Oh, or like heavy breathing.
Yeah.
It's like
so Ninja Gaiden I have played lightly. I don't remember it. I was a kid when I played it.
The 3D ones or the 2D ones?
What was the first 3D one on, like Xbox?
Yes, the original Xbox.
I played like a little bit of that one.
Okay, but what do you know of Ninja Gaiden overall?
I don't know the story. Ones. I just know that you're a ninja fighting shit.
Yeah. You ever heard about how like the game is difficult or anything like that?
Not really.
Okay. So
it's not.
He's right though. It's not. No, because I mean, I was telling Wesley that like those games are considered to be pretty difficult. They could be very frustrating. I played through all of them besides Ninja Gaiden Z and 2 Black and 2.
What about X
and original
or Y?
Surprisingly,
how could it be 2 Black?
That's
why
actually...
you don't like black?
Oh man,
that's what you're saying.
Hold on, let me explain. No. Wait. So I was telling Wesley, I was basically giving like a bit of a history thing of like how these games released, and it's a mess. It's a fucking mess on how these games released. Essentially, there's Ninja Gaiden 2004. I'm pretty sure the one that you played. There's the updated version called Ninja Gaiden Black, which came out on the Xbox original. I think a year
Hold on, can
after
you say black again.
Black. So after that, there was Ninja Gaiden Sigma, which came out for the PS3.
Yeah.
And
Sigma,
then
dude.
yeah, I was playing that Sigma song for my Sigmas. After that, there was Ninja Gaiden 2, which came out for the 360. After that, there was Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 for the PS3, and then Ninja Gaiden 3, and then an updated version, Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge, Ninja Gaiden Z Yaiba, which was like a side story, and now Ninja Gaiden 2 Black is the newest thing, and then
2 Black.
2 Black. It's called 2 Black. So I played through Ninja Gaiden Sigma, Ninja Gaiden Black, Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge. So there's some interesting stuff with all the differences. I would recommend a YouTube channel called Austin SV, I believe is the YouTube name. Basically his channel is like all about like the all the differences of a very specific, yes, Austin SV altogether. But his channel is like demonstrating like the differences of like different ports of different games. So he did one on all the Ninja Gaiden games, all the 3D ones. And basically all of them are like different flavors of the games and how they differ from one another. So Ninja Gaiden Black and Ninja Gaiden Sigma are the first game, but they're different in a lot of ways. Like design of levels or design of boss fights or how level progression happens, or even then Ninja Gaiden Sigma took away puzzles compared to Black, where Black had puzzles. And it's like these little interesting changes that happened from different versions. So then the biggest one that a lot of like Ninja Gaiden fans go to of like the whole back and forth of like they ruined the game is Ninja Gaiden 2. Ninja Gaiden 2 was on the 360 originally, and then Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 came out afterwards. And Sigma 2 there was a lot of changes that a lot of original Ninja Gaiden 2 fans did not like. That they did away with the violence and blood and the gore, and enemy and the amount of enemies on screen and boss fights that were introduced in Sigma 2 that weren't in the original game that some people didn't like. I played Sigma 2. I think that's my favorite one in the 3 that I've played. And I enjoyed it. So I got my copy of Ninja Gaiden 2 for the 360 because it's backwards compatible on the Xbox One. So I'm going to be playing that because I've been wanting to check out like the different versions to see the actual differences. And like I said, I liked Sigma 2. I'm probably going to play Ninja Gaiden 2 to see the difference, and then eventually I will be playing Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. I probably will be doing that on stream at some point, but before I get to that, so I beat Sigma 2. I was like, all right, this is really good. I'm glad that I played through this because Black and Sigma 1 are incredibly frustrating games. They are, I feel like they're not for the faint of heart because of the fact that there's going to be a lot of moments where you're going to get really frustrated. And I'm usually a patient person.
I don't know what you're saying. Hold on. Oh, you're good.
I thought you were going to ask a question.
No.
They're very frustrating games. Because some bosses feel unfair, and enemies that fight you are incredibly aggressive, even in the normal difficulty. Because I played all these games on normal. The original, not the original, but like the first game is it is something that is interesting to see because it's like kind of that game of like, okay, this is the first thing. Let's see what they did with the first thing. Like what are like the mechanics they thought were at the time they thought was impressive. And it leads into frustration where this is something that I want to say that if you're interested in these games, play the Sigma versions because they do a lot of quality of life stuff for like the UI and for the combat that Black and the original games, the original first game does not like have, and that leads into the frustration. Wow, I can't believe he's gonna go take a dump from his lasagna.
No, I gotta move cars because it's snowing.
Oh, it's snowing now. Shit.
Yeah.
You want to move your car too?
No, I already moved my car because I'm already prepared. So anyways, let me continue with my TED talk of Ninja Gaiden. So you didn't get that far in the original Ninja Gaiden, right?
No, I would have been like 15. I don't remember.
Okay, so you don't remember.
It's been like 20 years.
I was gonna say, okay, yeah. So you okay? You would have been a baby child.
Yeah, I really don't remember.
Okay, because that's the thing that everyone talks about these games is that like they're tough. They're very tough, and yes, all these games are tough because enemies are super aggressive. I got wombo comboed by a bunch of enemies. Like it is insane on how bad the aggression is in the sense that like you don't have a moment to breathe and you have to like think quickly. I do like that challenge of just like you have to be on your toes with certain things, but the amount of like when enemies fucking like toss you up in the air and then the other guy fucking does an unblockable grab, it's just like, what did I do wrong? I'm being punished for like the simplest mistake. Like I didn't dodge in time or I dodged too early, and it's just like these things that like adds to the frustration. Boss wise, there some of the bosses are interesting, but you know, it's not anything I would say that, oh man, this boss is my favorite boss of all time because it's so fucking good, it's so cool. Like they're there, but the bosses are also like pretty tough as well. Because like I said, if you make a single mistake, you're gonna be paying the cost for that. So it's funny when I went from Sigma to Ninja Gaiden Black to see that like, oh man, like they fixed a lot of things from one game to the other of like the quality of life stuff, and even the HUD of like the original game didn't have like a reticle for your arrow, because when you go to first person to shoot an arrow, Sigma has that, so you are more accurate.
Didn't have a reticle.
No, and I was just like, oh fuck. What? Yeah, like it got frustrating because there's a level where you have to shoot a tower's satellites and you have to shoot all of them. So there are moments where like, fuck, I'm missing because I don't know if I'm shooting it in the right spot. Like it gets frustrating like that. Yeah, it's a very interesting game. I probably will revisit Black and Sigma at some point, but like I said, those games are tough, and you know, I am a relatively patient person, and there were moments where I was getting incredibly frustrated to the point where I was yelling at my screen being like, what did I do wrong? What am I doing wrong? And it's funny because after I finished those games at the first game, I saw a games done quick thing. Do you know games done quick?
No.
Essentially they're speedrunners.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, I thought you meant a company. No,
they're speedrunners that do they do charity events. So it's like, here's here's somebody speedrunning a game, and you know, donations come in because we're trying to do it for a good thing. So they did one for Ninja Gaiden Black, and then I was seeing how this guy was playing, and like he beat the game in like an hour and something, and it was just impressive of just like, you know, learning the game over the years and like not essentially sequence breaking it, but like getting through it on a way that like is not as frustrating as you know, your blind first playthrough of the game. Some people would say that the first game is perfect, or Black specifically is perfect because like it's a challenging game, but you know, it's frustrating overall. But if you are interested in the Ninja Gaiden games, I would say play Sigma. And on top of that, Sigma is like the readily available version of the first game. But like I said, there are changes from Black to Sigma that are, you can take it or leave it. And then I played Sigma 2. I really enjoyed Sigma 2. I liked everything about it. It's weird to think that do you know the fighting game series Dead or Alive?
Mhm.
So Ryu Hayabusa is in Dead or Alive, and technically the world of Ninja Gaiden takes place in the world of Dead or Alive. So the big booby volleyball ladies are happening in the background while Ryu Hayabusa is fighting a bunch of demons. So
Nice.
yeah, so it's like goofy shit like that. But Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 I had a good time with, because like it was challenging, but it was not as frustrating as Black and Sigma. Like it feels like you have a good chance at that game, and it feels like you are a normal difficulty, you're readily equipped. It's not as punishing as the first game. You do get wombo comboed sometimes, but the added mechanics of I believe called obliteration techniques and the dismemberment stuff is the cool aspect of that game. Of like, you slash an enemy, you either like dismember their arm or their leg, and like they're still trying to fight you. Like that's the cool part, is like the enemies are that aggressive that they will try to kill you. So you have a move where essentially, okay, person's arms cut, they're gonna get more aggressive, time to actually kill them, and you press a button to kill them completely. So I think that's the really cool part. Boss fights are pretty interesting. I think one spoiler is that you fight the Statue of Liberty, which is hilarious. Because I was like, what is this fucking Ghostbusters 2? But yeah, it was really, really funny. And then it's also like the crazy part, because I know we talk about this whole shit about like people complaining about, oh, have games gone woke because they don't have my big titted anime lady in it. They're trying to censor the big titties.
Mm.
Ninja Gaiden has no problem with that. Ninja Gaiden is just all these big-breasted women that just want to have Ryu Hayabusa's baby. Like they're all in love with him. It's so ridiculous. It's so ludicrous. But yeah, it's the goofy shit of Ninja Gaiden overall. And even then, like a lot of the women in the games are actually like really cool characters. Because you have Rachel, who's like a demon hunter in the first game. That's also the other thing that is very different from Sigma and Black, is that in Black, you're only playing as Ryu, and then Sigma is like, oh, Rachel was in the story, so you get to play as Rachel in some missions. And Rachel's pretty cool, because, she has a giant axe, and, like, she fights demons, but when you have no context of her fighting stuff, in the original game, she just looks like a damsel in distress, even though they build her up as, like, this cool demon hunting lady. It's very bizarre. It's like a weird tonal shift that happens. And then in Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, you play as you only get like one mission per character for the female characters. So there's Momiji, who is a shrine maiden from Ryu's village, who has like a cool like spear thing. And then Rachel comes back, and you play as another ninja named Ayane. And they're all very cool and very fun to play with. But yeah, if you just want big titted anime lady to play and kill ninjas with, yeah, there you go. Like those are those games. So yeah, Ninja Gaiden 2, I had a really fun time. I've been waiting for my copy of the original game to see the differences. And obviously on Xbox One, it runs a lot smoother compared to how it was on the 360, because 360 had a lot of optimization issues, to the point where the PS3 version, Sigma 2, was I guess kind of like the the aftermath of all the problems. Well, there's a lot of circumstantial stuff that happened with Sigma and Sigma 2, and why they're called Sigma and Sigma 2 is because apparently they lost the original files for the first 2 games, so they basically had to work with whatever they had. So that's why Sigma and Sigma 2 are vastly different compared to the original games, because in 2 there's a lot of dismemberment, there's a lot of blood, there's a lot of gore, there's a lot of enemies on screen, and Sigma 2, because of it being on the PlayStation, could not handle the abundance of enemies, so basically had to reduce the amount of enemies on screen, and it also did away with the blood effects to the point where, like, when you chop enemies, only like a purple like smoke kind of comes out of them, and it's very bizarre. And that's why a lot of people didn't like Sigma 2. Because it wasn't as violent. It looked like more of a T-rated game than anything, which is funny to think about. So yeah, then we get to Ninja Gaiden 3, which I beat yesterday. Look, man, developing video games is hard, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Ninja Gaiden 3 is a game I can say definitively I did not like. And it's funny because I played the updated version. I played Razor's Edge. It's a giant step back from what 2 was. Because 2 was really good, and obviously, you know, it is challenging, but on the normal difficulty, you know, you have a chance. You can fight back. 3 is a problem. And it's funny because, like, I was interested in getting the original 3, and then I wanted to see the differences between 3 and Razor's Edge, and there's big differences to the point where the original game is, don't even try to play it, because that game is like an unfinished mess. So the biggest step back that game has is there are no health items at all. The only way you can regain health is by using your ki, which is like your spells, and basically defeating enemies. But you have to build up that meter by killing enemies. So it's this game that wants you to be incredibly aggressive and incredibly offensive to the point where you're going to get hurt a lot, and enemies will fucking demolish you if you're not careful. So with that, I was just like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to like this because of the fact that you have no health items. But I was like, you know what? Let me give it a chance and let me see how far I can get into it. And obviously I beat it. I beat the game. But what made my good faith turn on that game was the final boss fight. It is the worst thing I've ever seen in a boss fight. It is the epitome of things that I hate in a boss fight. When you have a bunch of shit thrown at you with smaller enemies attacking you while a giant ass boss is trying to hurt you as well. It is, like, boss design wise, it is awful. I did not like it. I'm surprised I even got through it, but I had to watch a walkthrough explain, here's a little corner of the stage that the boss won't hurt you in. So you can get, because essentially what the first phase of that boss fight is, get enough ki to do your spell attack to actually hurt the thing. But they made the meter bigger than your life bar, and then you have to fight the smaller enemies in order to build up that ki to bring the boss to the second phase. And it's incredibly frustrating when you have the boss fucking shooting balls of energy at you while at the same time slamming its fist like near you. It's so and you have like I said, the smaller enemies that are aggressive fucking like chopping your ass up all the time. So you have to cheese the fight essentially. And I didn't like that. I did not like that at all. And the other part, like I said, that like is also frustrating because when enemies hurt you, your life bar starts to diminish. It starts to like shorten, and you don't really have a way of getting that back unless you get to a save point. And it sucks because like you don't know when the next save point is coming up, and then even then, you get to a save point and then you have to fight a bunch of enemies and you get hurt, and then right after the enemies is a boss fight, and those save points are one use every time to fill your health bar back up. So that's what I'm saying, is that like it gets frustrating because it's just like I have to be defensive and aggressive and offensive at the same time, because a lot of those boss fights were like just, oh man, like they get frustrating as well. They get incredibly frustrating, and they introduce a new mechanic to the third game called Steel on Bone, which is essentially a counter move attack where an enemy glows red, tries to do like I think an unblockable move on you. You essentially have to evade and then press the heavy button, and then you do a steel on bone attack, and it does a shit ton of damage. You could kind of cheese that move, but yeah, that final boss fight was just like the worst I've ever seen. I kind of compared the third game as kind of like Resident Evil 6 for me, where I liked a little bit of it, and then the ending was just like, I don't like it anymore. It was a disappointing like time. So I wanted to know the differences of 3 original and Razor's Edge, and apparently a lot of shit was locked behind DLC for that original game, and the tone of the game as well was very different because they tried to make Ryu an edge lord, a murderer. He is a ninja, but it's just like they tried to like poke at the fact that like Ryu has killed people, and then in the game you have enemies basically begging for their lives, being like, please don't kill me, oh god, please no. And then you have a sequence where an enemy is like trying to tell Ryu, please don't kill me, I have a wife and a child, and then Ryu cuts him in half. Like just weird tonal shit like that. But it's interesting because like even in the game's story, it tries to present this whole thing of like Ryu killed people, but Ryu's not a bad guy, he's just killing for good, but people don't know that because he's a ninja. And it's like, okay, I guess. And then they try to do this whole thing where Ryu cares about this little girl, and I was just like, I don't care about this child. I don't care. Why do I care for it? Why does Ryu even care for about this child? There's really goofy shit with the story that like, even to the degree of Ninja Gaiden, is dumb. The stories are just like there for flavor text, but I don't think they're anything critical. And then they try to go really cinematic with Ninja Gaiden 3, and I was just like, I don't care. I just don't care. But yeah, Ninja Gaiden 3, so it went from my personal journey with all 3 games was frustrating for the first game, pretty good for the second game, and then frustrating again for the third game. And I was just like, that's not great. Like that's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate, because like I saw Ninja Gaiden 4, because that's part of the news, that Ninja Gaiden 4 looks cool, but I'm like, let me see how those the other games are. And like obviously there are different versions of Ninja Gaiden, like the 3D games of like, which one should you play, which one is the good one. And then obviously with Ninja Gaiden 2 Black being announced and shadow dropped, it's just like, oh, here's 2, but there's still changes because obviously they lost the original code for the original 360 game, so they had to do some changes. I'm interested, like I said, I'm interested to see those changes, and obviously I had a better experience with 2, so I'm willing to actually go and play the other versions of 2. But yeah, Razor's Edge was just like a huge step back, where I was just like, why no health items? That doesn't make sense. Why would you make shit inconvenient for the player? And especially on normal difficulty, where it's just like, why is that a thing? I don't know, man. Like that's Chonch's Ninja Gaiden experience thus far. I'm probably gonna play the side story Ninja Gaiden Z Yaiba, which I hear is like really bad, because it tries to like do more of a Western directed thing, where it tries to do like more sex jokes and shit like that. But I played a little bit on stream like years ago, but that was from the PS3 version. So I got the PC version. I'm probably gonna do that on stream, and then Ninja Gaiden 2 Black on stream as well. But yeah, I'll get there when I get there, because it'll probably be soon, because I probably gonna play Ninja Gaiden Z at some point this week. But as for stream stuff, I played a little bit of RoboCop Rogue City. RoboCop good.
Yeah, game looks good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I played Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, also very good. I have yet to boot up Infinite Wealth. I will be probably trying to boot that up, but I'm gonna try to fit Ninja Gaiden Z at some point, or probably, I don't know, maybe later or tomorrow, if anything, because I'm gonna be snowed in. And yeah, that's it for Chonch. That's what Chonch watched and Chonch played. Chonch went full into Ninja Gaiden, Ryu Hayabusa and his fat butt.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense with all the stuff happening with it.
Yeah, because I was just like, it piqued my curiosity, and I'm like, I remember playing Sigma 1 on PS3, and I didn't beat it. I got to the final boss and I didn't beat it, and like, it's one of those things where like I kind of soft locked myself, because in the previous chapter I faced a boss, I used all my health items, and then the last chapter happens and you have no opportunity to get any health items back. You can't, because usually there's a store that you can buy the health items. There's no store at all in the final level, and I've had to fight the final boss, and I got my shit kicked in. But then in Sigma, you know, I remembered that mistake that I made, and I was like, okay, let me make sure I have all my health items. And funny enough, the Ninpo, the spell stuff that Ryu has, is like the biggest thing you can use at the final boss, because like it just diminishes his health a shit ton, and then you just hit him a couple times, do the spell, hit him a couple times, do the spell, hit him a couple times, and then you win. This is like, okay, cool. And then I played Black after that, and I'm like, oh, the spells don't do jack shit for this final boss. Like you Sigma was a much easier time compared to Black. But they're good in their own rights, but you know, they're still frustrating games. They're still incredibly frustrating. Because like I said, the only available version to play all three games is the Master Collection, which is on like PS5 and Xbox, which is Sigma 1, Sigma 2, and Razor's Edge. And yeah, out of all of them, 2 has been the most enjoyable one. For me personally. Is that it? That's it. Yeah. Do you need to take another break, or should we get to the news?
I don't know if you want to wait for Wesley.
But he's taking a dump outside.
Outside?
Yeah. That's what he told me.
He has to do his car. That's what he said, right?
Yeah, he has to take a dump.
Yep. It's up to you, really.
All right, we can take a little pause. I gotta go get myself something to drink.
Okay.
All right. All right, we're back from our breaks. I talked about Ninja Gaidens, so let's talk about the news. Do you guys want to grab anything about the news?
Things happen.
Wow. Okay.
O.J. Simpson. No, I'm just joking.
Wow. All right. We already talked about David Lynch. Let's see. That's what. All right.
The Switch 2 got revealed. Ooh.
Oh yeah, I guess that's the biggest one. I guess we can start with that. The Switch 2 has been revealed. Essentially, it looks like magnets, or like you like.
It looks like magnets.
It looks like you just stick it together. It doesn't look like you slide it off anymore, or you just
which is probably a better idea, but who knows?
Who knows?
It's gonna cause more people to break their Switches, mainly kids.
I'm trying to think. I thought they said that this was going to be like compatible with like most current Switch peripherals, and so far it doesn't seem like it, because of those little prong things that you have to like stick it in with.
Mm-hmm.
So like third-party controllers for like the Switch 1 is just like not going to work for this thing anymore. But I mean, I guess it makes sense because this is like a new iteration of the Switch.
Yeah.
I wonder if the controllers will work though for like 2-player games, so like you could still use the old ones, maybe.
I would think so, because they're all Bluetooth, right? Well, unless they decide,
No, so you have to actually connect the controllers to the Switch to pair the Joy-Cons.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So even if you have Switch 1, stuff. If you have no way of connecting it to the Switch 2, then you can't
Well,
do it.
I guess
think
Pro Controllers still work, yeah.
I think we just have to wait for
Yeah, probably.
more reports for like hands-on shit, because I think I think they already had the event, or it's coming soon, in New York and Los Angeles, where you have to essentially get an invite to the event to get hands-on with the Switch 2. But apparently a lot of like reporters were like trying to get in, and a lot of them did not. A lot of them did not get in for the invite.
Reporters.
a lot of reporters from a
What
lot
are
of
they trying to report?
what the Switch 2 does and how it feels and how it looks.
So they were like, what that do though?
What that Switch 2 do though?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were trying to like that. They're trying to be like new Mario Kart, because I think that's what was shown for the trailer.
Every time a new fucking console comes out, it's like Mario and Zelda are the two things that are like, by the way, did you know how cool this looks? Look at those tires turn.
Are you excited for Tears of the Kingdom 3?
If it's going to be in 2K or 4K, then yes. If it's not, then no.
That's why I'm very curious, because I know they also said that like a certain amount of titles are going to be like Switch 2-ified, like, oh god, what's the word I'm looking for?
HD kind of.
Yeah, that they're gonna get like a upgrade essentially, but it's only like a handful of stuff from the Switch's library. So
it would make sense if it's all pretty much Nintendo certified, basically.
I would hope it's all like the first party stuff, obviously.
When Nintendo drops the new version, it just says certified Nintendo banger on it.
Certified banger. I mean, I am interested to getting the Switch 2. I would like to see more of it. Obviously, they did, I think, expand on the size of the screen, so that's also the other aspect.
The only thing that they actually have to do to make me want to buy one is promise me when I play a Pokemon game, which shouldn't dip below 30 FPS, that it won't dip below 30 FPS.
Well, that's the problem with the game itself. It's not the hardware, it's the game itself.
The hardware can't run it.
But the game is not well optimized.
So do both. The hardware in that thing is trash, bro. I don't care.
It's able to run fucking Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom relatively well. You know, there are slight dips, but it's not as bad as Pokemon.
Relative. Yeah, Pokemon is, yes, 1000%.
Yeah, when I'm talking about relative, I'm talking about Pokemon, because that's the other comparison to make. Because Pokemon Scarlet and Violet does not run well in that thing, obviously, and that's not as big as Tears of the Kingdom. But like I said,
I mean, it's definitely a lot more stuff into this Kingdom. It's just, again, I couldn't believe I couldn't play that game on the Switch. I literally threw that game in the fucking trash.
I was about to say, I think it's still in a really not great state, is it not?
No, they didn't do anything to make it better.
Okay. Yeah, because
I guess maybe they updated it, but I don't.
Because I played through a little bit of like Sword is the one I have. I played a little bit through more of Sword, and I'm like, that runs fine.
Yeah.
But you know, Scarlet and Violet are just like, from day one that game has been having problems, but that's because of the game itself. That's not essentially the Switch's hardware. The only thing I would say that the Switch does not run well is those Dynasty Warrior games, because of the amount of enemies on screen. So like the Fire Emblem Dynasty Warrior game, or like the Zelda Dynasty Warrior game, like those games like have a really hard time with the amount of enemies on screen.
I would like to see it be able to play 1440 undocked though.
Undocked, unclipped.
That'd be nice.
Full vigor. Yeah.
But docked 4K would be cool. I don't know. See what happens.
Yeah, because I'm just interested to see what they do. Obviously, like I'm looking at more of the pictures. The Joy-Cons are bigger, so that's a neat addition. And I believe there was like a hint of another button on this thing.
Oh, yeah, there were like 2 square buttons, one on each side.
Yeah.
And they were saying they didn't know what one of them does.
Yeah. And then it has a new kickstand, which I kind of don't like that kickstand, but that's just me.
Yeah, I I understand the want for the kickstand, but it's, in my opinion, it's probably better to just get a third party thing that attaches to the body and will kickstand it differently.
Yeah, because like the more I look at this kickstand, like it looks just as flimsy as the original.
Yep, I agree.
Dock still looks the same. I would like to see the interior of the docks, see how like where all the ports are, and like, is it basically the same plastic casing as the other one? But well, we'll have to wait for more reports about the Switch 2. But rumors are it's supposed to come out in April, but that has yet to be announced.
April O'Neil.
Wait,
But,
April of this year?
Yes.
No.
Damn.
In 2 more years.
Damn.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
No, Wesley. No, he's joking. No, there have been reports that it's coming out this year.
No, you
Wow,
have to
damn.
kiss your car to get it.
Yeah, you have to make out with it first
Nice.
and tell it that you love it.
So that means Sean's gonna make out with his car confirmed.
Yeah.
Was like, oh cool, I already got my Switch then. Okay, never mind.
All right. Speaking of April, hey, are you rolling? Keep rolling. You see that new Devil May Cry intro?
Oh yeah, I thought that was fake by the
No.
way.
No, that's real. That's
I
full.
love it.
That's full. I can't believe it's fucking Limp Bizkit.
Oh,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah. But it works. It works really well.
Yeah, it does.
So the opening credits for the Devil May Cry Netflix anime has been revealed, and it is Fred Durst on the audio, while Dante is eating his pizza wahoo fun time. Yeah, I'm very curious to see more of Devil May Cry, especially now that's not Ruben Langdon, that it's Johnny Young Bosch as Dante. But I mean, I like Johnny Young Bosch regardless. So yeah, that comes out April 3rd this year, like the Switch 2.
Mm.
Oh fuck! Hold on.
Ugh. Tell me where to go.
What you want to do now? Okay. Let's see. So they're speaking about Sony being offline the whole day. Did you know that there were some live service shit? Some live service games that were going to happen but got canceled because Sony realized that live service shit is not going so well for them. So there were some projects in the works, a God of War online game, and also let's see, I think what else was the other thing?
The other.
The one thing I'm annoyed about is the Last of Us multiplayer that is not coming out anymore.
Yeah, there was also that Spider-Man thing that was canceled as well.
Yes, yep.
I posted up a picture of like basically all the canceled live service stuff. But yeah, one of the from this article from VGC is one of the live service thing that got canceled that was supposed to come out this year got canceled, and it was a God of War online game. But the unfortunate thing is that Studio Bend and Bluepoint are basically on the teams for live service shit, which I don't understand why Sony did that. Those are two studios that are not known to do online service games, which is bizarre, but hey man, money dough. Because Studio Bend is the studio that did Days Gone, and then Bluepoint is basically the Demon Souls remake people, and they also worked on a bunch of like remasters of previous games, and they're known to do really good jobs for remasters and shit like that. But
did you play Days Gone?
Yes.
Can I ask you a question about it?
Sure.
At any point in the game, does anyone ever look at the other person and go, I don't know where all the days have gone?
I want to say yes.
That would actually be really funny.
I mean, it's not like the Evil Within 2.
Oh, did they say so?
Yes, they actually say there's. I forget what it was, the exact lines, but like essentially it's like
there's some
evil. It's not. Yeah, it's like we should be careful. There's some evil out there. We got to make sure we're all stocked up. And your main character is like, there's also an evil within too. And then they look at the camera. Like, I'm not joking. Like, they
Oh my
actually
God.
look at the camera. It's great. It's really good.
Oh my God.
It's not like, all the residents are evil, but
Yeah.
um,
It's not like a person sucking off a giraffe.
oh God, for Resident Evil 6. God damn it. I
I
forgot.
can't believe people will they'll make up bullshit about anything.
And then it gets into your head, and then you can't unsee it. Because now I
Yeah.
can't unsee it. The Resident Evil 6 logo looks so bad now.
So stupid.
Oh yeah, let me find that list of that image that I sent. I put it. Yeah, it's on the Discord for us. Hold on.
It's in the Discord.
Yeah, I put up the list of like the canceled.
There's a lot of memes in here. I see.
Okay, so PlayStation was planning to release 12 live service games, but a lot of them either got released or shut down. So let's see. We got Destruction All Stars that was released, Gran Turismo 7, which was released, Helldivers 2 released, Concord shut down, Fair Games, that's to be dated, by Haven Studios, Horizon Multiplayer to be dated, Marathon by Bungie to be dated, Horizon MMO by NC Soft to be dated, and then unannounced goes to a game by Media Molecule, Bungie. It's not the studio. Bungie is the title of the game. Let's see.
Oh, that's the title of the game?
Yeah, Bungie.
I thought that was the studio. Okay.
No, by Gummy Bears. Let's see. Jason Blundell's LA studio game. And let's see. The other canceled stuff is The Last of Us Online, Twisted Metal, Spider-Man The Great Web, London Studio live service game, God of War live service, and then Studio Bend live service. So yeah, Studio Bend was working on a live service game.
I did see somebody apparently released a mod for Spider-Man, so you can play with your friends. By the way,
Oh yeah.
On PC currently?
I think so. I just seen a video of it shortly on TikTok.
Oh, that'd be cool. That seems pretty cool. But yeah, I
it's
remember
basically like what they were, I assume, was gonna do with this like Spider-Man multiplayer thing.
Yeah, because
so
I think I think essentially you were supposed to make like a Spider-Man Sona.
Right, yeah.
And then you basically play online with a bunch of people. Because I think basically the whole element was that like, oh, it is essentially across the Spider-Verse, like kind of like seeping in to the Spider-Man world. But yeah, they didn't do anything with it. It was kind of like teased at, and then they just never went anywhere with it. It's very it was very weird. But even then, I feel like a God of War multiplayer thing is
doesn't sound good,
especially for this God of War, because they did online multiplayer for God of War Ascension, but that was just like PvP stuff, which that was like I remember I actually I played a match on that. I was surprised to see people still playing the God of War Ascension multiplayer. But yeah, it's essentially it's like PvP and I think other game modes. But I don't know what they would have done for this current God of War. Like, what do you do for a multiplayer thing? Do you play?
I don't even know how you make God of War multiplayer. Honestly,
I don't know either. Like, are you like another dude that fights gods? But it can't be part of the story.
If it's a Call, or if it's
not Call of Duty,
if it's a live service game, that doesn't mean it's multiplayer.
I guess, but still, there has to be like a multiplayer aspect for a lot of live service games.
I think most live service games are multiplayer, but live service in general would just mean like they could have added a battle pass, right?
I guess. I mean, yes, games as a service is technically that. I mean, live service and games as a service is like basically the same thing. So yeah, they kind of do resonate with that whole. How do we keep people playing, or we'll add more content, and it's bi-weekly shit that you got to do.
I just don't know what they would have done to make it, because exactly what you guys just said. You don't know what they would do to make it multiplayer.
Yeah. Or
So,
if it even fits in the story or the world of God of War, like, what do you do?
Yeah, grinding for God of War would be really weird.
Grinding for my God points so I can punch Raw.
They would have to like put loot into the game, which is like
that just it doesn't make any sense. Oh, I got a new shiny shield.
We have seen it before though, in
Yeah.
video games where they don't do a grindy video game, and oh no, I guess
because
the thing I want to use actually real quick is like the Avengers shit. It was grindy. The Avengers was grindy.
Yeah, Avengers
was really just fucking shitty.
Yeah, it's funny too because I just downloaded that game because I remember I got it for PSN. And
I still play it.
I don't know if you can do like any online stuff because I think all the servers are shut down. But the story you can play. I'm very curious about the story. But I'm trying to think. Do you remember Godfall?
Yeah,
I know the name.
Did they like what exactly was that? Was that a games as a service?
it was.
It was, right? What?
Because
because it's like
you
co-op,
kept
right?
going until it was co-op. You had to kill things to get weapons and whatnot.
Yeah, because I don't remember. I remember when it was like during the time when the PS5 was about to come out, and they were like,
visually this game looks so good.
Yeah, that was the thing, is that like it looked interesting, but then the gameplay was like shallow to the point where like everybody who played it was just like, this is like the most shallowest.
Forgettable too.
Yeah, like it's forgettable, and like the gameplay is incredibly shallow. And they were like hyping it up, being like, I think it was also because they had devs that did Borderlands, that they were like, oh man, you're gonna get so much armor and so much weapons. It's like it's Borderlands crazy.
Yeah, but like also like that main character that they showed off in the beginning, like all the trailers and shit. He had this dope armor, dope weapon, dope everything.
Yeah, the lion
and
face.
then it was called Godfall.
And it was it's so generic.
Just so good.
It's I don't know, the name Godfall sounds very generic, but like
It does, but it has like that powerful word. Of course, like God, right?
Yeah, God.
And obviously fall.
They're not gonna call it Jesus Fall. And then it'd be like, whoa.
Oh, Diablo.
Oh shit. That's right, Diablo. Oh shit, I should really play more Diablo 4.
No, you should.
I should, because I need to know.
Bro, you need to play Path of Exile too. So fucking baller.
I don't know. I'm very wary of like not live service of early access games.
Cool. So when I get another key, do you want it? Because I'm gonna get another key.
But why? Why are you gonna get another key?
I'm gonna upgrade my copy again. It gives me another key.
Oh really?
Yeah. It depends. Certain copies give you more keys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, I guess.
Yeah.
Sure, I guess.
It'll be next month, but I'll send it to you.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, I just live service shit. I think the takeaway is just like so bizarre. That's the thing, is that like Sony has been trying to push a lot of this live service shit that like it just doesn't work. And even then, like the call for live service stuff is like diminishing now. Like not that many people are like demanding for a game to be always online or to be this massive multiplayer thing. Like I don't know. I don't know where.
It's just because every single game has it.
Yeah.
You don't need a perpetual game where it never ends.
That's the hilarious thing, is that like a lot of these games are not never ending. They do end when they decide that, all right, servers are shut down.
Yeah, for sure.
Like that's the goofy thing, is that like they promise this whole thing of like, oh, you're gonna get so much content every other week, and then fucking the week after it releases, hey, we're shutting down the servers, so
yeah,
good luck. look at Concord. Jesus Christ. Oh god, I forgot to mention this. I watched Secret Level, like a good amount of episodes, but I did not get to the Concord episode yet.
Okay, I watched it all.
Yo, you watched it all?
Yeah.
Did you watch the Concord episode?
Yep. It was the longest episode.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh god.
I remember watching it, and I talked to my brother afterwards, and I was like, They gave Concord the longest amount of time, and it did not deserve it. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
That's so funny because it's like I keep thinking about the Mega Man one, and that one is like super short.
They must have done it before the game came out.
Yes, they did because they were trying to promote the game
Yeah,
more.
so like it's even funnier because the game failed.
Yes.
Before the episode came out.
Yeah, that was the talking point when the game was like shut down. Everybody's like, "Oh, so what about that secret level episode? Is that still gonna happen?"
Did you
like,
watch the Warhammer one?
Yes, that one's my favorite.
Yeah.
Holy
So,
shit.
Watching the Warhammer one and then watching the Concord one, I was like, I wish they would have just cut Concord and made Warhammer.
Warhammer. Just gave it a second episode.
I don't even really particularly like Warhammer, and I watched that shit and I was like, this is
cool as shit. It's like she's so fucking badass because he's a war orphan. It's like,
dude, like
it's so good.
He got in his brain and shit, and then he was like, nah, fuck you.
Visuals are like so fucking good for that episode, and then like even like everything around it was just like, oh,
the storytelling too.
Yeah, no, it's like everything is so compelling about that one short of just like, okay, here are the Space Marines. They're fucking badass. All right, here are a bunch of like Mad Max looking raiders about to attack them. Oh, they don't stand a chance, like at all. And then like that's not even their objective. Like that is something just in the way. Their objective is like further underground. And then they go check it out, and it's this fucking like evil, weird eldritch monastery. And like you get that, and you get that demon, and it's just like that's a visually interesting looking demon because it's just like.
Did you watch any of this, Wesley?
No.
Wesley hates Warhammer. You have Prime Video, right, Wesley?
I do.
Okay, yeah. Secret Levels on Prime Video.
Yeah, make out with your Prime Video, Wesley.
With your car, making it through some. But no, that episode hammer. That Warhammer episode is like the best shit because it's like, oh shit, it's fucking Titus from the games. So it's like, oh, that's cool. That's a really neat way to be like, play Space Marine 2.
I don't know who Titus is, but yeah,
he's the main character in Space Marine, the game.
You're a Space Marine.
Hey, that's what I like to tell myself. But then in the little short they just tell you how big Titus's dick is. There's just like, he's so huge, it's massive, you don't even get it.
Massive.
It's pretty massive because it's just like can't compete with that. Because he
was orphan,
yeah, because like everybody in his squad, even like his commander was just like, he's so fucking badass, you don't even realize, bro. You don't get it.
We're all gonna die, but you better watch out for this badass.
He's so fucking badass.
Coolest guy ever.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I got a phone call.
Okay.
Wow, I got a call phone.
All right, we're back from the break. All right, so we talked about PlayStation Live Service games. Oh god, there's a lot of live service. Well, I guess talking about PlayStation, Insomniac Games founder and president Ted Price is retiring. After 30 years of being over at Insomniac Games. Good for Ted Price. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I mean, Insomniac has made some pretty good games. Spooderman, Ratchet and Clank, Sunset Overdrive. We don't talk about Fuse. Well, I don't really know anything about Fuse as much. But
the hell is Fuse?
Fuse was a PS3 and 360 game, which was a 4-player co-op game. And that's all I know about it. That's all I know about it. But yeah, Fuse. But yeah.
Interesting.
Congrats, Ted Price, on finally retiring. Let's see, what else can we talk about? Okay, live service shit. I think this is a big one because WB Games. So I think the one thing we can talk about is this is a post from Jason Schreier over at Bloomberg talking about how the Wonder Woman game may be in trouble. Due to the fact that Suicide Squad was not a gangbuster seller of a game. yeah, it's just obviously Warner Brothers gaming studios have been like kind of in a weird area because there was a whole thing I think a couple months back about what happened with Mortal Kombat 1, of the rumors that like this current season of Mortal Kombat is the last one. It's still unconfirmed, but either way, you know, WB has not been in a good position financially because of the whole cancellation of other works and other things. And yeah, the Suicide Squad game was a mess because, like, talking about live service shit, that was a mess. I haven't played it. I heard how it ends, and yeah, my feelings to play it have kind of like just disappeared, so I don't really care about it. But it's weird. Like I said, it's a weird thing of like, why do you put a studio that is good at making single player stuff like Rocksteady with the Batman games, why would you make them do a live service game? And it's like, oh, because of the model of other games of trying to put in live service shit into their games, and it's just like, okay, we got to follow a trend. So it just like, it's so dumb. It's so fucking weird and dumb. But yes, the Wonder Woman game by Rocksteady is kind of in limbo, and then there was an idea to make another Batman game, but that's ages away, according to Jason Schreier. So unfortunate for Rocksteady, because like I said, they I like those Batman games. I like it when Batman goes, "I'm gonna beat you up, Joker," and yeah. Speaking about beating up Joker, or Batman beating up people. Hey, Multiverses is coming to an end.
Hell yeah, brother.
Season 5 will be the last season, and then let's see. It will be going offline in May on the 30th. There's a lot of controversies for this. I think because progression is also tied with online for like character costumes and stuff like that. So there's something that is the big talking point for a lot of people. Also with currency and character tokens, like that's also the other aspect about why it's like kind of bullshit for it going offline. But I never got into Multiverses. I know a lot of people really liked it when it first came out, but then over time, a lot of people started to dislike it because of what was happening with the changes of balance. I think like gameplay balance and like a bunch of other like, like level progression and stuff like that got changed as well. So a lot of people were like turning on Multiverses a good amount. But yep, that's it. It's crazy to think that the game came to early access, and then it was still in early access when they decided, okay, let's do season passes, and then it went offline for a good bit, and then it came back online, and then it was going, and then it's just like, all right, we're done. But that's because of WB. Because WB does not know what to do with any of its products or any of its anything that it owns. So, unfortunate. But what's not unfortunate is that the Video Game History Foundation makes its digital library available to the public. So the digital library is basically printouts and old magazines of like just stuff that you wanted to check out from video games. Like what was it? There was like a bunch of other stuff that I saw, like a bunch of like promotional material for a bunch of games. It's really interesting because I saw a little bit of what they had on there, or different stuff that they just had for stuff that was going to be released at the time. It's very cool. It's very, very cool. Speaking about cool, hey, the developer direct for Xbox happened. I know I talked a little bit about Ninja Gaiden. So they basically started off with that Ninja Gaiden 4 is happening over at Koei Tecmo, and Platinum Games is helping with development. I guess a little side thing, a lot of directors and developers over at Platinum Games have left. So I believe the director of Astral Chain, Bayonetta Origins, Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, and think near Automata as well. Like a couple people have left Platinum because Platinum is also in a very weird state as well, where they're not doing financially well. Funny enough, and I think also to the point where like Hideki Kamiya is just like, that's also part of the reason why he left, was because of a lot of like the development changes that were happening that he didn't really like. So that's all like, you know, hearsay according to some people. But what's not hearsay is that a lot of devs left, a lot of big head devs left Platinum. So don't know, but I hope Ninja Gaiden 4 is good, better than 3. That's all I want, because I was going off with Anthony, with Howler, about like how bad Ninja Gaiden 3 is. Like, it's not good. It's not a good game. And it sucks because like the second game is really good, and then the third game just like, all right, we did good in the second game, let's just take a step back. You know what? Not even a step. Let's take a couple steps back and like stay all the way back. And it's just like, why are you doing that? Why not progress? Why not do something different? Yeah, there's a lot of shit with that third game that I did not like. I gave it a fair chance, and then I turned on that game immediately when I got to the final boss. It's just not a good time. But anyways, I went off about my rant. So yeah, they showed off Ninja Gaiden 4, a little bit of gameplay. It looks good. Obviously, it looks good. You have two characters. You have Ryu, and I believe the other one is Raven. And then they also shadow dropped Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. So I will be playing that eventually. And then they showed more gameplay for a bunch of other stuff. For, let's see, Claire Obscure, Expedition 33, Doom Dark Ages, and what is it? What is the other game? South of Midnight. That's the other one. They all look good. Did you see any of the game?
Not gonna lie, Expedition 33 looks like the most fun out of all of them.
Expedition 33 is interesting because it's like, it's not a big studio. It's a relatively small studio. But they're going like full in for this game. And, you know, I thought it was just going to be like French Persona, French Shin Megami Tensei. But a lot of like the mechanic stuff is really neat. It's more akin to like a Dragon because of how more active it is with the turn base. But with like the open world stuff, because they showed off that like you have a giant monster that you can ride, and like he's basically like your form of travel. And like, yeah, they're going like full RPG with it, and it looks good. Like, I'm very interested in it. Besides the voice casting, because like they got like Ben Starr, they have Andy Serkis. I think they have one of the actors from Baldur's Gate. I don't know if it's either. I think it might be Shadowheart that they have for the actress. Excuse me. But yeah, they have a lot of good voice actors behind it, and I'm very, very curious to see how it is. Like, I'm very interested. And then South of Midnight looks good too. I like like the different frame rate for like the character. I think it looks really cool. It is very much of that of like Across the Spider-Verse stuff, or Into the Spider-Verse, where it's like the different frame rate stuff, which just looks really weird at times, but like it is like part of the charm. And then even like the combat stuff, I think looks fun. It kind of reminds me of like a Zelda game a little bit. It's cool. It's neat. I like it. I'm very interested in it. And then of course Doom the Dark Ages, you know. Got that.
Yeah, just finally you got your mech battles.
You got everything in that game. You
Finally.
got a giant mech, you got a cyber dragon, you got your fucking chainsaw shield. Yeah, that's fucking cool as shit. I like the difference in like the different variations of gameplay with each new iteration of Doom. You know, the run and gun, like they said in the whole developer thing, the run and gun, the jump and grapple, and then now the stand with shield and fight. I like the different changes. The only thing
that you could like deflect with the shield down too.
You can deflect, you can parry, you can yeah, use it to attack. Like there's the shield is like the big proponent of this game. It's what makes the game essentially. But then you have the guns, and obviously that fucking skull crusher gun I think is the coolest shit in the world. Because just take you to reload by putting more skulls, and then it like breaks it all down to make shrapnel. And it's just like that like that's some cool shit. The only thing I'm sad about obviously is the whole thing with Mick Gordon, that Mick Gordon is not coming back to do the music, because obviously how that whole thing ended was incredibly messy. It sucks, but I hope the music's good with Doom. Yeah. I think I talked about it with Howler, but like I don't know if I talked to you about the whole thing what happened with Mick Gordon, because I talked about it in the podcast because it was part of the news. Do you know what happened?
No, I don't know. I think you talked to him about it, not me.
Okay. So Mick Gordon was the original composer for Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal. So you remember a lot of all the tracks from Doom and like how good they were?
Yeah.
It was mostly because of Mick Gordon. So there was a weird thing that happened where I think for Doom Eternal's DLC, Mick Gordon wasn't returning for the music. So everybody thought that was odd initially. And then a bunch of rumors started to happen where I believe the head of id Software or ZeniMax or Bethesda, I don't remember. Either way, Marty is the first name of this guy's name. Marty something. I forget his name. Marty. Hold on. Marty Stratton. That's his name. Yes, Marty Stratton. He was basically the head of Bethesda, or is the head of Bethesda. That during it was weird because like he came out with a whole statement about how like Mick doesn't want to work with them and this and that. And then Mick comes out with a whole statement with receipts and conversations that he had with Marty and a bunch of people over at Bethesda, and it was a mess of what exactly happened over there. So basically, they basically what's what I'm looking for? They fucked him over. They essentially fucked him over. I think that's the only way I can explain it, is that they fucked him over on like the development of Doom Eternal specifically. Because when Doom Eternal was coming out, they did not notify him that he was composing until the game released, and then somebody made a statement saying that, oh yeah, Mick is going to come back for the music. And Mick Gordon did not know that he was coming back for the music until that announcement. So then eventually they contacted him and was like, okay, we need you to make the soundtrack, this and that. And they didn't give him enough time or enough like leadership into like what they were looking for. So a lot of the tracks that he did were like, you know, something that he came off offhand or like he did complete. So a lot of tracks were like incomplete and complete. Obviously, you know, Rip and Tear, and then like The Only Thing They Fear Is You are obviously like completed pieces, but there's a lot of incomplete stuff that he has. So he sent a bunch of like files of like some complete and incomplete stuff to Bethesda to like tell them, hey, okay, what should we work upon with this? But they never really told him anything, and they essentially took everything. And then they also revealed when the game was about to come out that, oh, there's going to be a complete soundtrack that Mick is going to take control of. And Mick didn't know that as well. That was not part of his contract because he's a freelancer. So he did not know that he was going to make a complete soundtrack for the game. So so they never contacted him to make a complete soundtrack. And then when they ended up using was a lot of raw files of the songs that he did for the game, in which people who got the soundtrack for the game realized that, oh, this is terrible. Like, this is bad mixing. And they thought that it was initially Mick's fault. But Mick couldn't say anything because it was under NDA.
Yeah.
So, like I said, it was until years later that he came out with this whole thing about being like, it was the worst experience he ever had. And it was mostly because of Marty, because he names specifically Marty. And he also names, I believe, one of the audio engineers of Doom Eternal, one of the leads that were basically like not helpful at all. So it kind of got him to a point where he's like, I never want to work with these people ever again. And it's really unfortunate. It's really, really unfortunate. I think they also underpaid him because of the whole thing that happened with his contract of like let's make a soundtrack, but you're not gonna be any part of the soundtrack. Like, it's such a bizarre like turn of events that yeah, it soured a man's like ability to work with other people. It's really unfortunate because like I said, like everybody knows that Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal's like soundtrack is like fucking phenomenal. But funny enough, I believe Doom Eternal's DLC's music is done by the composer that did this first person shooter called Dusk. So it has like heavy metal influences, but I believe now they're working with other composers for Doom the Dark Ages, but we'll have to see, you know. So yeah, it sucks. I really like Mick Gordon's stuff, and it's unfortunate. Yeah. I think I just want to say overall, Marty Stratton sucks. Marty Stratton is a fucking piece of shit, but you know, I'm more on the side of Mick because like I said, he had receipts. Like he had all these conversations with Marty and like all this other shit, and like these moments are just like, what is my job here? Like, what are we doing? Yeah, it sucks. It's very unfortunate. So with that is the developer direct for Xbox, and yeah, I mean everything looks good. Doom Dark Ages got that collector's edition where it's basically Doom guy with the fur coat statue. I kind of want it. But that's like, I think it's $200, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to put down $200 now. But yeah, the game looks good. Looks cool. Yeah, that is it. Chonch is gonna be playing more Ninja Gaiden. You're gonna be playing more Baldur's Gate 3, I'm assuming.
At some point, yeah. I want to give it a little.
You're taking a breather.
Yeah, because I've been playing it for fucking hours, dude. Like it's like at most in a week. I added fucking probably like 20 plus hours.
Damn, bro.
No, more than 20. What is it, like 5 to 5? Yeah, like 25, almost 30 hours a week.
Jesus.
On just one character, and I'm like, yeah, let me chill because I don't want to get burnt out for this game already.
Well, I mean, that's an RPG. I can't really make the comparison because I'm playing action games, because like I went with Ninja Gaiden Sigma right into 3 afterwards. But I wouldn't say I got fatigue. I just got frustration when I transitioned from a good game to a not good game. And it's just like, that's a different thing. But I think the frustration only piqued my curiosity even more to play the other things, because like obviously with like Ninja Gaiden Z and then 2 Black and then with the original 2, it's just like I want to see the differences between all those games. But I will not at all be checking Ninja Gaiden 3 original, because that is an unfinished mess, and I can only imagine that it's far worse. So yeah, I'm not gonna touch that game. I don't think I'm gonna touch 3 at any point. If I like decide I want to torture myself again, maybe then I'll probably play it. But yeah, that was just a grueling experience, even on normal, which is insane.
Damn.
Yeah, bro. Like it's bad. You weren't here when I was telling Howler about my experience with Ninja Gaiden 3, but like it was grueling because they changed so many mechanics to the point where like you have no healing items at all. The only way you can heal is use your ninpo, your magic, to take out enemies, and you gain health, or find a save point, but it's a one-time use per save point.
Oh, ew, what the fuck?
So you can't cheese it. And the problem is that when you get hurt, your health bar decreases and it shortens. So like Dark Souls 2. Did you play Dark Souls 2?
No, never played any of the Dark Souls.
Okay. Well, like or yeah, I guess Dark Souls 2 is the one comparison I can make, or even original Demon Souls, where like when you die more and more, your health starts to decrease, but that's when you die. In Ninja Gaiden, when you get hit, and when you get hit hard, your life bar decreases like a lot. And then the final boss,
like decreases as in like how decreases?
Like, okay, so let's say an enemy hits you, your life bar has a bit of red on it. The actual grayed out point of like where it decreased also like shortens. So if you get hit more and more and more, the gray area goes shorter, and then you're left with like a little bit of white. And then you do get there's a skill tree, but you need to find collectibles in order to upgrade your health bar to make it bigger. But like I said, like you have to go look for collectibles to increase your life bar for a skill tree that makes no sense, when in the previous games you had an item shop, but even then the collectible to increase your health was in like in a treasure chest. Compared to the third game, where it's like they're looking for golden scarabs to increase your health bar. Well, technically your fight points called karma is what you're using to upgrade the skill tree. But even then, it's like you're not getting enough to upgrade everything. But no, that's a lie, because you get scrolls to unlock the certain things, but for the health stuff, you need to find scarabs to unlock those scrolls. It's goofy. It's really bad. It's a really bad system. But like I said, you have to be scrounging around to find those scarabs in order to unlock the next health upgrade. And then the final boss, like I said, it's so bad. It's such a bad design. The only one thing that it is lenient with is that when you die during a boss fight, it basically picks you back up at that beginning of the boss fight, or depending on which phase you're in. Because some bosses have like a second phase, but like not to the point of like, oh, life bar is completely back to full. It's just get it to half life bar, and then second phase happens. But that final boss was like the worst shit I've ever dealt with. I was telling Anthony, I was telling Howler that like it's the epitome of everything I hate in a final boss fight. Of like, you get a giant boss, and then a bunch of smaller enemies are attacking you, and you basically have to play a game of, okay, who's attacking me now? But then the problem is with these games is that the smaller enemies are super aggressive, so you have to keep a constant eye of like who's going to try to hit you, while at the same time the big guy is throwing shit at you, essentially, of like these energy balls, and then also slamming its fist down at you, to the point where like it is something you could telegraph. But the problem is that it has AoE damage, because like with the radius of like where it hits around its arm can also hit you. So it's just like this whole thing of like, what the fuck do I do? And the whole first phase of that boss is basically fill up your key bar all the way up to do a ninpo, and then once you do the ninpo, you get into the second phase. But you have to build it up from zero, and you start that second boss fight. No, second. I'm sorry. You start off that final boss fight from a previous boss fight, so you have no like you're in it like from the second boss fight, or second to last boss fight. Excuse me. And the problem is that at the point that I was at, because, you know, like I said, you when you get hit, your health bar starts to shorten. Your ninpo bar is longer than your health bar, so you have to fill that shit from zero all the way up by defeating the smaller enemies, all the while trying to make sure you don't get hit by the fucking big giant boss. So I had to find a way to cheese it, and it's like the worst way you can do a final boss. Like, it is genuinely awful. Like, it was so mind-numbing and frustrating and fucking grueling that, like, even the second phase was just like, it was nothing. The second phase was nothing because you're actually hitting the boss, while in the first phase you can't hit the boss. So it's like it's such a bad boss fight, and like I ended up like turning a 180 from that game because like I said, I was trying to give it a chance with all the different mechanics, and like, okay, doesn't have a great way of healing yourself, but like, you know, it's trying to make you more aware of like your surroundings and how specific fights are supposed to go. So it wants you to be aggressive as much as possible, just like the other games. Like, you're supposed to be aggressive, but like in this one you have to be specifically aggressive. But you know, the whole not having healing items is the whole thing that like a lot of people, I can see a lot of people not playing this game at all because it's frustrating. It's incredibly frustrating. Yeah, Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge was a rough time, and like I mentioned, is that Razor's Edge is the upgraded version compared to the original, and the original is like a fucking mess because it's a incomplete mess that was like, hey, you're only gonna have one weapon compared to like the other games where you had multiple weapons, and if you want to get other weapons, they're DLC that you got to buy for like $5. It's like, oh, that's bad.
Gross.
Yeah, it's really gross. The whole idea behind like the DLC stuff was really gross. They also had an online mode, which that was also like not good as well. Yeah, 3 was just a complete mess, and that's why I'm hoping for Ninja Gaiden 4 that it's good. I hope it's good, because 3 left a really sour taste in my mouth, but like overall 2 was like the funnest time I had with a Ninja Gaiden game, a 3D Ninja Gaiden game. Yeah. So I'll be playing 2 original probably now-ish or something. I don't know. I was thinking about streaming, but like it's already late. And well, I mean, it's a weekend, but like I was thinking about playing Ninja Gaiden Z because I hear that game is like terrible, but you know, I'd rather stream it to show how terrible it is. Yeah, we'll see.
So it'd be like, hey guys, this
Hey
game's not
guys,
good.
hey guys, you want to see me play some shit? Let's play some shit. I don't know. I'll probably think about it in like the next couple minutes. If I stream. So yeah, that's it. That's it for me. All right.
Dope.
Bye. Oh God, I forgot to mention my whole PC problem.
Well, bye.
Well, bye.